Message of importance to millions of people who are continually pale and washed out, weak and run down. Doctors will tell you that these conditions are often caused by a deficiency of iron. The iron you need to keep you physically fit and mentally alert. Medical studies show that 2 out of 3 women and many, many men lack the daily iron your body requires in a form your body can easily use and put to work. Every dose gives you more than your daily minimum iron requirement.
We are awake, we are not alone. We are striving for more.
So if you're not getting the iron your body needs, if you feel weak, run down, and are easily upset, start taking iron today.
Thank God it's Friday.
It's Friday, my dudes.
And a TGIF to you all. Welcome to the Iron Rail Media YouTube channel. This is Have No Sphere, and my name is Josh Corey. Let me jump right in and just say hello to our regular cast of characters, shall we say. Starting off with Mr. Walter Johnson, a.k.a. Flat Earth Head, here on YouTube. Walter, how are you, my good sir?
I am fine, sir. I am good. It is Friday, dudes. I'm trying to get back to the call. There it is. Hello. I see you guys out there. I'm over there in chat trying to get some typing done, saying hey to those early risers. Or, well, some of you are getting up, I know. Some of you may be going to bed. We're all here, though, and I'm going to shut up because we have a guest.
We do have a guest. Well, let's say hello to Mr. Zachary Zabala. He's got a little YouTube channel here called Good Times for All. We know him as Too Nice for Rice. Zach, how are you, my good sir?
Hey, Josh. Hey, everybody. I'm doing really good. Plants are all growing, sprouting, all kinds of stuff popping. It feels really good. Tend to grow and watching them grow. There's just something magical about it. So yeah, life is good. Can't complain.
Well, good. My whole computer just froze up, scared the piss out of me. Wasn't sure what it was. But I think we're good. I think we're still streaming. All right. Let's say hello, Mr. Lucas King. His channel is LC King here on YouTube. Lucas, good morning, sir. Fiat Lux to you. Tell the sun we see you, and hello for us.
Yeah, good morning. I'm doing well. Just waking up and looking forward to the show. let you keep introducing people.
Alrighty, I think we're actually getting close to it now. Let's say hello to Mrs. Cami Nodell. Her channel is Aisling717 here on YouTube, and there's going to be lots of stuff coming out there.
Well,
sorry, I froze up again. That was weird.
Yeah, and you actually went away during that one, sir. Are you hearing me?
Am I invisible?
No, you're here,
I'm just meant to be.
Cammy,
They're censoring my name off of the air. I'm so that's it. My name is being censored, so I talk in phrases. No, I'm here. It's me, Mrs. Cami Nadal.
What the hell is going on?
We know it's frozen. My brother's telling me in the back it's frozen, and it's like, yes, we are aware. He's hearing it delayed too, so this is having a surprise visit. I'll even come on and say hi to everybody. Hi, Liz, Constance, everybody that's out there. I am having and getting blinded by the light. I'm going back off of the camera. That's terrible. Sorry, we're not going to look at it anymore. But I have a surprise visit from my brother who drove on his way back from Pennsylvania to Colorado, came down and saw me in South Carolina. So he must like me at least a little bit. And so it's the best surprise and day ever. And so I'm going to be hopping in and out of the show with him. And I'm hoping even maybe later on in the show, if we're able to get him on, because many people out on the internet and newspaper readers and even like Reader's Digest and that know him as Vince the Sign Guy, the man that is famous for the funny dad pun jokes.
Yeah, really cool. I've actually got to see those signs with my own eyes. Yeah.
I crack up. They are on the 24/7 Discord. You see them all over the place. And I'll be talking about it. And again, people sit there, oh, your brother, he is legend with the signs. So again, really fun to have him in the house.
So somebody thought it'd be a good idea for me to update Zoom right before the show. Wanted to make sure that I was updated, But it would seem Zoom doesn't want to necessarily interact so well with my computer. I don't know what the hell's going on. I'm totally frozen up. I can't do anything. Oh, no, wait. Maybe we're doing something now. Oh, looks like I'm just crashing Zoom is what that looks like. That is what that looks like. Let's try this again. Luckily, I'm not broadcasting through Zoom, but through Restream. So thank you, Restream.
But for now, we're still struggling on his old school computer. That being
Did we just stop on YouTube?
It's possible.
No,
Yeah,
we're still there.
Yeah, Josh is struggling with his computer right now.
Yeah.
I'll let him know.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's why I saw us go off. So I just said, well, there's no point covering for a show that's not on, I guess.
Well, it looks like to me.
You're still on.
He's still on. I think we're still on and on. Yeah, I do believe we are back.
I thought we got off because I saw us go off.
Oh, okay.
I know. I saw it go off too, Zach. I don't know what's going on.
Blinking in and out of reality.
We are.
No, I think I
right
had
now.
it
We're all
figured
getting
out.
a new logo for our toaster strudel in the morning watch.
It took me a minute.
Shout out to Brian from last time. Man, we had a blast last week, Brian. I wish we could get all this worked out so we could hurry up, get to our awesome new guest that we have, but I don't want to spoil the intro for yet because we're having
still got to say hi to one
problems. I'm aware. Oh, what? My brain just broke.
I think I figured out what was going on with Zoom.
Josh, what the hell have you done? Oh, shit.
Guess what button I found, Walt?
Mm-hmm.
It only needed to crash on me 5 or 6
I
times.
had to crash before it filled it up. Okay,
Then
cool.
it said, hey,
so
guess
now
what
we're
we've got?
chilling by the fire. Anyway, I'll shut up and let you take back over now that you're wheeling and dealing like
let's
that.
do this. There was a whole bunch to choose from, too. Not like Skype's BS one sitting with the rock out in the woods. Anyway, so I don't know if I saw Chris's YouTube channel first or if we were friends on Facebook and I saw just Facebook posts coming through, or if I saw him in maybe a group that we have in common. I have no idea where it was. But I've been wanting to get Chris on for quite a while because I really dig what he's doing. And we had TJ on not too long ago, and something that kind of came to mind was that what I wanted to do was try to do like a musical guest once a month. Or, like I said earlier, at the very least, a guest that's musical. So with that spirit in mind, I reached out to Chris to see if he wanted to come hang out with us. And luckily he did. I just noticed I don't see my picture there. I don't know where the hell I'm supposed to be. Anyway, that makes me laugh.
Yeah, I don't get it either. We're playing with new toys. We should have done this probably maybe Wednesday. Anyway.
So everybody, welcome Christopher McCracken. Chris, thanks so much for coming to hang out with us here on Have No Sphere. As you see, we are very laid back, very, I don't want to say unprofessional, but our professionalism has strengths and weaknesses. But welcome. We're so happy you come hang out with us this Friday. It's a pleasure to have you here.
Yeah, thanks for having me. I am way better of like a planned out musician rather than just someone that speaks off the top of their head. So we'll see how it goes.
Well, welcome, sir. As you see, get comfortable there by the fire. I'm not really sure, again, the struggles Josh is having now seem to be that you're not actually on the fireplace and he's not in the picture. Who knows?
I don't know. And
not just are we unprofessional, sir, we are anti-professional. We are anarchists all the way through.
Make it a point.
Yeah, make it a point, that's for sure. Yeah.
I mean, the thought alone that it's 80-something degrees out and you're putting us by a fireplace is, a hint to just how wrong we are.
It's been rainy.
Hey, it's cold here.
Liz is right. Liz and them.
He's doing it for the outer planers.
That's right. Those guys are chilled over there.
So how is it in New Zealand? And
not in,
you're not. Liz is. Liz. No, Liz is Liz is in Scotland. Diva's in New Zealand.
Yeah, that's right.
You found them all.
I found them all. Where's Wally?
You mind telling us where you're at, Chris?
Yeah, I'm up in Northern California, just outside of Sacramento.
Okay.
Nice.
So you pretty much have good weather all the damn time.
Yeah.
I was this close to moving to Chico. Just this close to moving out to Chico.
Better not to. I've been trying to leave for years.
Yeah. Dodged several bullets there. Not for nothing.
Yeah, I have family out on the upper West Coast out there in Oregon. It's a whole different thing there. Not nearly as hospitable climate all the time. I worked down in like Santa Maria and El Segundo and stuff like that years ago in the 80s. So, yeah, I had some amazing weather out there.
Amazing
so,
psycho.
It's what?
Amazing weather, just psycho people running the state.
Mm.
Well, right. Well, I mean, it's kind of like the old Bill Hicks routine, hot and sunny, hot and sunny. What kind of people enjoy hot and sunny weather? Fucking lizards. I'm just saying, hey, I'm not a conspiracy guy. So what kind of music are you into, man? Tell us what got you started on the musical path.
I've just been into music since I was a little kid and was performing on stage since I was like in third grade, and I think was my first like performance.
Wow.
And then,
talent show?
Yeah.
Nice. That's where my little brother did it.
Yeah, I did Glory of Love by Peter Cetera.
What?
Yeah, because I was obsessed with the Karate Kid. And that was in the Karate Kid Part 2.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Dude, that's a range. You still have that range like that, my friend?
I try to sing some of his songs, and I'll have to like take it down like a whole like.
Right. I remember those days too. Oh, Josh is breaking everybody's brain now.
Well, Cammy was right. Maybe the fireplace was a little too warm. Do I need to bust out my green screen? I got one in the closet. If they need to key me out, I can
a circle.
Go monochrome.
I'm a circle.
Yeah, so welcome to the madhouse, people.
Yeah, sorry for this. So sorry for this, Christopher. Yeah, well, I see on your YouTube you actually have like you have a band and you practice. So I love the way you guys can get together and still stay focused. As you see, we cannot. If we were a band, we would never learn a song.
Yeah, it'd be a steady practice session that never ended.
I just started with some new guys actually. Because my wife just divorced me in December, so I've been going through that madness. And then my ex-brother-in-law was the bass player of the band. So he helped he helped her clear out my stuff when I took the girls to church one Sunday. I came back and I came into my master bedroom and there's just like a mattress and a side table. And I'm just like, well, I guess I'm not jamming with that guy anymore. So
that whole vibe kind of just disintegrated, right?
Yeah, but there's a lot of musicians in the area, and so I've been connecting with some more. So it's good. New ideas, fresh ears to the music and stuff. So it actually adds a lot of energy back to it, which we lost a little bit just because when you play with the same guys for a few years, things just get a little stagnant after a while. So it's nice to like mix it up.
So who was your favorite band? Like at age 14? What was your when you started listening to music that your parents didn't listen to, and like your first, ooh, I like that song, I'm gonna go buy that album and just listen to it over and over and over and over again?
I was obsessed with like Incubus, Papa Roach. So I was like getting into the music scene for myself, like when like late 90s. So just, that kind of stuff, like the Foo Fighters, I was like obsessed with. I was obsessed with Bush, Gavin Rossdale. So like a lot of the.
I heard Gavin is gay. Anybody else hear that? Just something I heard throughout the years. I don't know. Or maybe that's just a rumor I've been trying to start for years.
Did you have a girlfriend that loved him or something?
What was that, Zach? Did you say something about a woman? It had nothing to do with some alleged woman that you might be referring to. I don't know what you're saying. I just heard he was gay. That's all. Not that there's anything wrong with that. I fully support his ability to be proud and gay.
I thought he was going out with the lead singer of another band at that time. The female singer.
Gwen Stefani.
Yeah.
Gwen Stefani, that was it.
No,
for a while. That's another rumor.
Maybe.
These are way late rumors anyway.
You guys are like gossip girls. I mean, you really, really are like gossip girls. I'm liking it a lot. With everybody's permission and blessings, I was going to sneak off of the show a little bit, spend some time with my brother, and then we can listen in together with it, and then maybe we can pop on a little bit later on and do some of the science. I did drop his link in the chat.
Did you? Okay, good.
So, I'd love to hear the music and that. Maybe an hour or so into that, we can pop in. But I'm going to sneak the headphones off. So, talk to you a little bit later, everybody, and I'll be listening.
All right, Cam, and tell Vince, hey, and thank you for sharing him. And we will definitely put that website all the way through a couple times tonight. I'm trying to go back and find the link.
Here, I'll put it right here in. You see, maybe I flunked the copy and paste.
See, that's me too. I know
it's not hard. I did it.
Constant. I do it all the time.
All right. Talk to you soon, everyone.
All right. Thank you.
Yep. I was a massive Incubus fan too. Really liked them.
Yeah, me too, sir.
Until I seen on Brandon Boyd's bloody lead singer's Instagram page, he's like, wear the fucking mask. I'm like, right.
Oh, see, really?
Enough from you.
Didn't know. So, yeah, over that.
He stepped down off his little, platform I'd put him on.
That sucks. Before all of that, before I just learned all of that, like this was the day I got married. We went down we had like a hotel room that was booked in Huntington Beach, and we went to go check in, and the guy was like, oh, your room's not ready yet. Just wait a couple, 5-10 minutes and we'll get it ready for you. So we're sitting down waiting for the room to get ready. And all of a sudden I look up and it's Brandon Boyd walking through the lobby with the surfboard. And I'm like, Incubus. And he's like, oh, did you guys just get married? I was like, yeah. He's like, congratulations. And he like walks away. I'm just like,
right. That'd be awesome as fuck, dude.
Yeah. That was like 15 years ago.
Right. I think I had a similar thing with Maynard. I got to meet him after Perfect Circle concert one year in New Orleans. Sorry, I'm trying to get Vince's sign, so I'm completely multitasking, completely fasting. But anyway, yeah. And then over the years, I've kind of really changed my opinion on Mr. James Keenan and his crew and what they're about. So, and I definitely am sorry to hear that he's a masker there, Lucas, as well, because I love me some Incubus, definitely. Saw him a couple of different tours.
Yeah, it was very disappointing to see that because you know, a lot of his
very spiritual,
lyrics are very sort of uplifting and you know, seem to be all about, you know, he done a whole album which was called Make Yourself, and all those lyrics were you know, very, very much being independent and free thinking and all this sort of stuff. And then you had to see him actually curtail to that. You know, even in his little post, he's going, well, even if it's real or not, just, you know, do what you're told. It's just like, that doesn't stand for anything that you wrote about. And it was extremely disappointing to see that.
Real or not, just do what you're told.
Oh, well, you know, it was that in that sort of vein.
Yeah, but
not
still,
in that.
That's crazy.
You know, just hashtag wear the fucking mask was his little thing, and I'm just like, are you kidding me, man? It's really disappointing.
Yeah.
Nemo and I are discussing the fact that Incubus's last good album was probably Crow Left of the Murder. That was my last good one, anyway.
Well, as soon as they kicked out, what was his name? Kurt,
the original
bass player.
Yeah.
Well, I don't know if they kicked him out or he left or he just got sick of it or whatever. But that was basically after Morning View.
That was the last tour I saw him live on, actually. I didn't get to see Crow's Left tour. So I can't say as far as the live setup, but I love that album. I really do. There's still some good stuff there. That song, Crow Left of the Murder, that's how I live my life.
Yeah, but the actual sort of melodies and sort of things of how the songs were constructed, I think the bass player had a big role in that. So, yeah, when he left, it certainly went downhill. That's for sure. Hopefully, they're not listening.
Right? Damn, and I had them signed in for next week. Yes, man, you fucked us on that one. Thanks, Lucas.
Mike, you're still a good guitarist, man. See ya.
So, what's your instrument, Chris? What do you? What's your go-to? Guitar.
Guitar.
Is that what you first started with? You learned on the guitar?
Well, when I was in 5th grade, I started with in like band at school. So I was playing the French horn. And then I played the trumpet, and then I also played like the mellophone. So I just learned and I was in choir and stuff like that. So I was just basically just doing whatever the indoctrination camps wanted me to do. You know, they never like, dude, offer freaking guitar. Like, why is guitar class not a thing? You know,
well,
like, yeah, let's all play like these crazy, insane brass instruments that you're never going to
use in life. Exactly. And that's, I think, part of it. I truly do think that's part of it is they want to give the impression of some kind of musical thing, but they don't want it to really be what your heart wants to do.
Way too much.
That being said, I had some great stuff in choir. I had some great choir teachers and led me on to be wanting to be in it in college. And my professor there was like phenomenal. He wrote like 500 pieces and he's a great, great composer. But yeah, the idea of school and having guitar together, man, one year as we got through with the choir that year, she told us that the guy who was the director of the, what they call it, chamber choir or chamber something. It was like a little small 4 or 5 piece group that did like pieces and like cello and a violin and somebody had a little voice thing or whatever. And so he was going to offer jazz guitar the next year. And it was like, what? Are you kidding? My life is about to change because I was just trying to learn some funky chords on my acoustic. I went, met him, signed up, showed him my little acoustic pitifulness. He's like, oh, I can teach you stuff, friend. Signed up, went home that summer, got back to school the next year. And when I got to that room where he was going to teach us, it was the old choir teacher. sitting there with an acoustic guitar, and I'm like, well, what is this dude doing here? And we all found out through the underground that guy had gotten in a little trouble with a student over the summer, apparently, and got kicked out of school. So we learned guitar as the choir director was learning guitar from some college course he was playing. Mary had a little lamb. Oh, my God. It was like, no. So, yeah, guitar at school apparently was just not going to happen unless you were at, like, GIT or somewhere.
I mean, I enjoyed it for the most part, but when I got into high school, especially like, I mean, maybe all of us had this, maybe not, but I started to rebel a lot against, just doing what you're told and believing what you're told and just whatever. And me and the choir director, and he was actually the band and the choir director, like we just like hated each other. Like I could not freaking stand the guy. He picked the stupidest, lamest, cheesiest, dumbest songs you could ever do for choir. And I'm just like sitting there like, let's freaking do something like up to date, like not some cheesy crap from whatever ago, something that like we're all into.
You just call out my name and I know wherever. Sorry, I'm just reminiscing back in my choir days and cheesy songs. Go ahead.
So we were supposed to, so we went to Disneyland as a choir and we were all supposed to perform, and we went to go put our stuff on, to do this performance. And I'm like looking through my bag and stuff, and I'm like, where are my pants at? So when I was at home, I must have like grabbed them and my pants like slipped off or whatever. And I'm like carrying my freaking suit or whatever, thinking my pants are in there. So he comes into the locker room and he was probably just waiting for this. Like the guy was just literally waiting for something to happen to where he could do this. And so he looks up, I go, I don't have my pants. And he's like, you're done. You're done. You're done. You're finished. You're done. And I'm just like, it's so stupid too, because when you look back on it, and when we were like, when they were performing, because I was just like, had to sit down and watch them perform or whatever. There's like literally like 5 people like in the audience. And it's like the guy's mom and the guy's grandma, and then everybody else is just walking. They don't want to go to Disneyland to actually see some random like high school, like
right.
Perform.
They never say, like, don't know who you are.
So stupid. So I went back to school the next week or whatever, and we go into class, and everyone before that, all my friends were like, oh dude, like if he kicks you out, like we're all gonna go with you. Like, yeah, like forget that, dude, we're all gonna come with you and stuff. So we get into class, and like I'm sitting there, and like he walks in, he's like, yeah, you're done. You remember, you're done, dude. And he like comes and he like hands me this envelope, and he's like, go take that to your counselor, you're done, dude. And then I'm like, so I grab the envelope and I go to the door and I look back at them. I'm like, who's coming with? I didn't say this, but it's like, who's coming with me? Don't worry, I'm not gonna freak out.
Right. Oh, that's great, dude.
I'm not gonna do what everybody thinks I'm gonna
do. No one walks out with me. So it was actually perfect, because that was the time when I was like, great, the institution doesn't want me for their music stuff. That's great. So I don't know how it all happened, but I met a drummer, met a guitar player, and we like formed a band together, and I had written like a song. So we all got together, we learned it, and then the school has like these winter assemblies, and the winter assemblies are like the best part of like school. Like I don't go to school for anything else but these like winter assemblies, just because it's a big party, like everyone's like having fun, like the whole school's there. And there's actually like, the school is so big that they have like 2 assemblies. And so they let you try out to, like, if you wanted to be a part of the assembly, you could try out. So my band and I tried out, and we were like, there were like only 2 bands, and there was like a lot of bands that tried out, maybe like 10 or something like that. So they chose 2 of them, and mine was one of them. And after I did that performance, like, just not only was it like phenomenal because I was doing my own musical thing at that point without the institution. I was just like me doing whatever I want to do, playing my own music, but like every girl like knew my name after that. They never knew none of them like knew my name, like when I was in the choir and the band. I mean, some of them did, but after that point it's like, so good things come.
Yes, it does. So that's so crazy, my friend, that story. I had bought a crappy Tiesco Del Rey guitar at the pawn shop, because I wanted to play guitar and that acoustic was just not making the noise I wanted it to make. And of course, the guy sold me like a little cheesy, like crap amp that had no distortion, no overdrive, no gain, just an amplifier speaker, essentially. And I can remember the red coily cord it came with, and I'm sitting here trying to figure all this out, and it's not going, whir, you know. So finally, somebody shows me a distortion pedal. I'm like, oh, okay, I can make that noise now. And this girl that I knew kind of was, you know, interested in or whatever, she was going to do a song for the talent show that year, Still They Ride by Journey. So I learned that little solo and the little part for that and did the backup for her, just her. Arlen, the choir director, played the piano part and she sang and I played that guitar. And like you say, after that, dude, all the chicks go like, hey, you played that song. You were that dude. I'm like, I was that
dude. That's a great feeling. So you were in a band? Were you ever in a band?
Over the years, here and there, different. Yeah, I mean, I've never really been in a band that really did the bar scene. It was always just friends cutting up in the, you know, wherever we could set up. We did do some stuff in college, like the guys I was jamming with then, like we would set up during, so whatever, if we could get our way onto stage, we'd do it, like open for a play, you know, and we'd play before it or whatever and do whatever was popular at that time kind of thing. But never really pursued it as far as like doing the bar scene. In fact, I didn't even sing or do anything in a bar until I started playing around with karaoke a few years back, you know. So just never wanted to be in that scene and never liked the environment. It was never for me. It just never was. So, but music, yeah, I've been into it since I was young. Like, you know, my family was into the church, so my grandfather was a preacher. I grew up in that choir, that music, singing all the old Elvis songs, and then, you know, just went from there. So, and I mean, dude, we're going to be lost in music on this whole show, as you guys see. So buckle up, man. I love music, love talking about it. That's pretty much when we get off the air. That's generally what me and Zach and Lucas do for the next hour if we can, when Josh is running off to work. So love music, man. I'm trying to find, I thought I had something saved here with my old choir director, but I can't find it. If I can find it, I'll share it with you guys in a little while. But yeah, it was definitely some years ago. Definitely.
So have you played any of those brass instruments lately? You ever pick up a trumpet again and try to add it into your music or anything like that?
So my oldest daughter was playing trumpet the past couple of years. So I had a chance to like pick it back up and play around with it. Yeah. It's like riding a bike. Like once you learn it, kind of just all comes back. But I definitely wish I would have spent 5-6 years being taught guitar or piano.
Even piano, right?
Yeah, even piano. I mean, you can't carry it around with you or whatever, but still, it seems like they're like, those are, you know, it's pianos and guitars, which seem to be the two that are like, just seem to be everywhere. So I don't know why they focus on that other stuff. I mean, it's fine if you want to do that, but.
Right. You don't see many scenes in movies where there's the beach scene and the campfire and then that dude goes over there, hang on, and he opens up his baritone case. It doesn't have the same vibe, for sure.
Hey, baby, how do you like my French horn?
Right. Check this aperture, baby.
Well, one of my first drummers that was in our band, and when I was in a band called April 6th, that was like the one that I was trying to make it big with. He was actually in a band called Save Ferris. I don't know if you guys ever heard of them. It's a ska band.
Sounds very familiar.
At the very end of 10 Things I Hate About You.
There we go. Yeah.
Yeah. They're the band on stage.
Yeah. Gotcha.
That's crazy. Yeah, that's awesome.
But, you know, I was like, I like Mighty Mighty Boss Tones. I mean, there was like some that I loved, and I love mariachi music. I love Mexican music too. So I can totally get into it yeah.
As old as I am, I grew up in the era of like Earth, Wind and Fire and all that classic horn section stuff. You know, Chicago before they got to the big hits and had a lot of horn stuff going on. So I grew up with that. And then as I got more into heavy stuff, and all of a sudden here was like one night, I think it was on the old Jon Stewart show back in the late 90s, early 90s, and there's this band hits the stage, and there's trumpets and metal, and he's giant. There's a dude over here doing all this, and I'm like, what's going on? It was the Mighty Mighty Ballstones, and I loved it. I'm like, how do you mix these two worlds together like this? Yeah, I love that stuff. Love it.
I'm a big fan of Me Too and the Gimme Gimmes. If you just want to get a little punkish, good cover bands. It's always a nice one to have a playlist of. So, the band you're currently jamming with now, what's the name of that band?
Gravity's Gone.
Gravity's Gone.
Fucking amazing name, sir.
I like it.
Yeah, I love that name. And you know what's funny? When I was with the old group and even this new group, they're like older guys. So, and people like to think like us is very few and far between in my area. Like, man, if I found somebody else that had the same like thoughts as me in this area, it'd probably blow my mind. Like, for real though, like I don't know anybody, like everyone that I used to go to a huge church. I go to a smaller church now, and no one there believes the things I do. The bigger church, no one believed, like no one, like everyone from our work, no one, it's like, it's pretty intense. And so, like 3, 4, 5 years ago when we started Gravity's Gone, no one in the band was, they're all believe whatever the institutions have taught them to believe, And so when they were like saying this name to me, I was like, oh yes. Like, yes, dude. Because my bass player, he liked the Drive-By Truckers, and it was just one of their songs. It was called Gravity's Gone, and like he liked it, and he just thought that was a cool name for a band. And I'm just like, yes, like, dude, I couldn't have thought of a better truther. Like,
fucking hey, dude. Inside, I'm sure you were just going, oh, that's awesome. So I thought for sure you came up with it trying to poke the eye of the GE believers. So yeah, that's awesome.
Worked out. Yeah, it just worked out perfectly.
Hell's yeah. That's crazy. Well, I dug around some of the songs you have there. So I don't know how you want to share. If you want to share, if you're ready to get into all that, let us know when you want to throw something on. You can take control there on the,
I had a cool, Nathan Thompson, I think Thompson. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
He created a pretty cool music video. I'm so bad. I'll do the music and stuff like that, but when it comes to music videos, I don't have the time, or just that I don't even want to do it. I want a music video, but I just don't want to do it myself. So I usually ask other people to do it for me, and he made a pretty freaking cool one for a new song I was creating called Saddaloon.
That's awesome.
Yeah. And it was a legit music video. And then they ended up, and there was thousands of views on it in a week or so, and then YouTube deleted his whole YouTube channel. I probably should have him try to send it to me or something, but I mean, I can.
Telegram is a wonderful app for sending videos back and forth. Usually a video is too big to send through the email or whatever, unless you have a link for a place you've got it saved so they can go there kind of thing. But with Telegram, you can send it straight through. We don't get paid.
That's not the selling point that it used to be, Walter, because they limit their file sizes now to 2 gigs. So.
Oh, really? Are you kidding? Nope. You fuckers. I'm never promoting you again. Never mind. Don't go get on Telegram. No, I'm kidding. It's still a good app.
Nope, it is still good. Zip files are a great way to transfer files on Telegram when your limit's 2 gigs. And then there's other file transfer systems anyway.
So you guys want to listen to a song?
Surely, sir. Let me shut my stuff off so I don't distract.
Yeah, and then I don't even know. So what's your stance about, what this place we live in is?
I'm not too sure about the firmament and all that kind of stuff, just because I don't know.
Well, I mean, you're sure it's not a globe, though?
I'm 100% certain that the Earth is stationary. It's not moving at all. It's on a level, some sort of level thing or whatever that it's on. Water's always finding this level. I know that there's no measurable curvature. The stars, we see the same stars, constellations since the beginning of time. They do those star time lapses, and you can just see perfect circles. I know that the moon and the sun are definitely way closer than we've ever been told, and that they're on a circuit above us. And I just know that there's so much that we have been held back to like really research and study, you know, especially like some of the smartest people, you know, they're just like, they're taken by the institutions and then they're like put on a path and says, these are the calculations and this is what you're supposed to believe and this is what's happening. And it's sad to like see those smart people just be led, you know, and just become like their slaves basically.
Wasted. Because, dude, like you said, some brilliant people are just stuck and can't get past what they were shown because that's the carrot of that tenure and the promotions and the papers publishing and all that. It keeps that shit going. As long as they toe the line, they get the gold star. They're not going to fuck that up. So, and the ones who do,
you're right. It's a lot of brain power, like a lot of smart people out there, you know, in non-reality.
Yeah, like the Big Bang, that show, The Big Bang. Could you imagine if all those intelligent people weren't working on figuring out black holes and all that nonsense? Actually putting that brain power towards something, you know, helpful for humanity.
Free energy.
Yeah, all kinds of stuff. We could have engines that ran on, you know,
magnets or magnets even. Dude, have you guys ever seen those generators that are like run on magnets? And there's basically like south or whatever or north over here, and then south is all on the fan or whatever, and it just constantly just keeps repelling it. Like, boom, dude. Like,
yeah, and then
but it's impossible to make a free energy device. It's impossible to make a perpetual motion machine. It's impossible. Sorry.
Yeah, they even had, I don't know if you heard of him, but his name's John Searle. And back in the 50s, he made this thing called the Searle generator. And supposedly these things, they were like a drone. It was an unmanned air vehicle, like a UAV. And it had its own call sign for the like air traffic controllers. They were letting them know what it was. So these things weren't like, you know, hidden by the military, blah, blah, blah. Back in the 50s, people actually, these were things, you know, that were like heard of. And then now all of a sudden, like, you can find it, but it's not common knowledge. Nobody knows this stuff. They do that with everything. All these special engines that run on water and run on, you know, all this different kind of stuff. It's brought out into the public for a second, and then it's just swept away under the rug.
Didn't they kill that guy? There was like, I saw a video of like a guy that had like an engine that ran on water. And it used like it separated the hydrogen or something like that, and used that as whatever.
Is that the Geet? Lucas?
No, it wasn't that. It was the guy that, he done a water car, ran it on water. It was like injecting the water in some way and using that as fuel. But I think, then he got rid of him. Yep. But they even did that for people that say it was the carburetors in cars, and they'll be able to modify them a little bit so your car used almost hardly any fuel. The same thing when you sort of evaporate the fuel before it goes into the engine, it ends up being super efficient. So just very simple things that you can do to modify a car that would just increase the efficiency like 10 times as much. And they just got rid of those sort of things as well. You know, then that's not even to do with the Geet. That's just using the exhaust, the heat from the exhaust to actually evaporate the fuel before it goes in there. So it's already in a state that it's ready to burn in that, sort of vaporized state. So, because a lot of the fuel won't get burned because it's in a liquid form. It needs to get up to temperature and then turn into a gas. So it actually, a lot of it goes out the tailpipe. And that's why they have those, catalytic converters and things that basically heat up the exhaust to burn the rest of that fuel. So our cars are just so inefficient.
There's no money in it for them, right? If they give us all these things, there's no money in it for them, and they actually have to go find real jobs.
Well, it's oils, as Greg Manarino says, oils is the lifeblood of the military-industrial complex. So as soon as your people don't need oil and things like that, you're getting rid of that, extreme amount of power that resides in that sort of area.
Well, hello there.
Sorry, we're all multitasking. I was looking for a story about a gentleman that I heard about from a little small town in Lucedale, Mississippi, when I lived there, who had produced a machine or basically equal in, equal out kind of idea. And there's a story. Hang on, I'll share it with you guys. And we've had people popping in. I've been trying to help get in the call, so let y'all take that, and I'll go get the story.
Yeah, the other thing we were speaking about the other day, Zach, was the jet engines and how they possibly could function, and they're super, super efficient as well. And basically, you got the turbines that are sort of based on this fire ratio, so it acts like water going down a plug hole. And so as the turbine spins, it actually pulls it in and compresses the air. And when you get a compression of air, you get heat. And so when the heat comes out the other end, it basically creates a vacuum at the front, and that pulls in the air faster and faster. So they're actually super efficient just by that heat differential and pressures.
Yeah, once they get going, they're hard to slow down.
Yeah, well, I've heard stories where people have built their own little jet engines, and once they get them fired up, like this bloke told me a story. He's just from around here, but once it was fired up, it just basically they couldn't stop it, and it disintegrated because it just took off. It was only a small little jet engine he built in the backyard, and the whole neighborhood come out and said, heard this thing going off, but they couldn't slow it down because it just, once it got to that, once it was generating that much heat and causing that much draw, well, there's no, it just keeps going.
I think we heard you for a second, Cammy. Are you having trouble?
I'm here. I'm seeing if my brother is live and getting him on. Here, hold on. So say hello, everybody. Let's now try this and tell me if you're live. Say hello, hello.
Hello.
There we hear you, sir.
Hello, everyone.
Hey, Vince.
Welcome, Vince.
Welcome, brother.
Thank you. Thank you. How is everyone?
We're good, man. We're really good, as you see, hanging out, chilling here with Chris, talking about music.
This is the first time I've ever done anything like this before.
Well, dude, welcome, and we're glad we were the first place you came and hung out. So if just Cammy can tell you, you're among friends here for sure.
Right on. Right on.
We pop a lot of cherries on this channel, don't we?
Yes, we do, sir.
Well,
yes,
I was gonna tell my story. I used to just do garage signs, just in the neighborhood. Nobody'd ever pay any attention to it. But once I did the Indian Hill sign, that's when I started getting the chicks too, you guys. So.
Fucking A, dude. I love it. I love it.
So if you guys don't know, well, I'll let Cammy do it. She knows it better than I do. But
no,
Cammy,
go
tell
ahead.
everybody.
Go ahead, Zach. You're doing great.
Well, Vince is like world renowned. He's known all over the world for his signs that he does on these puns. And they're, the dad jokes, the pun dad joke type thing. If you've ever gone and watched the Flat Earth 24/7 Discord channel, they're always putting his signs up on there because they're just hilarious. They are. But he's known what are some of the places that you've been on, man? I know you've been in some really well known and really big media. Type,
all over, but 9 News in Denver did a video 3 years ago, And it started in the restaurant in Indian Hills, and it ended in the community center in Indian Hills. And that video went all over the country. And NPR did a radio interview with me too that went all over the country. So I got saturated really quick with the media coverage, and the signs have just been fun. And as I'm finding out right now, I don't know if anybody's paying close attention, but the sign that you're seeing the last couple of months is coming from my backyard because there's a couple board members that don't want me to do the sign anymore at the community center because they don't like the attention that it brings.
Are you kidding?
I'm not.
So yeah, heaven forbid some like tourist dollars show up in the community.
You know what? They actually said, we don't like people taking pictures of that sign. Why don't you build one in your yard? You know, that community center's been in our family for a long time. And these people are in their 80s. They're not on the internet much. They have no idea the reach of the sign.
What the real world's about anymore.
And so, right. So out of respect to them, I did exactly what they said. I built a sign in my backyard so I could keep it going.
Well,
and then it got ugly. Then one of the board members who had just taken my place asked me for my $160,000 or 160,000 fan page. They said, we want that page because it says Indian Hills on it. And that page was built independent of the community center and I own it. And so they weren't able to touch it. So I built Vince the sign guy, and I'm doing a lot more with that, which has been a lot of fun. And eventually I'm going to go out on the road. My tagline says comedian, but I'm just going to try to bring good times to small communities, actually build signs in small communities. I've got a lot of plans.
That's awesome, dude.
Bring people together, summer picnics, horseshoe tournaments, and I'll beat them in their own game, and then I'll give them their money back, and it'll be a win for everybody, you know.
That would tell Cammie she's muted. Cammie, you're muted.
Cammie, you're muted.
She's actually not muted.
I'm not muted.
She may have walked out of the range. You're back.
What about now? Okay.
Yeah.
I was going to say I've got share screen disabled, but if you abled it or if you wanted to, I can bring up like his Facebook page or that to see. Or you're welcome to do it there too.
Yeah, we can give you the power here in a second. Do I have that ability?
You have the power, Cammie.
Okay, the power was given.
I've actually shared the story from 9 there in Boulder, 9 News in the chat, and I've popped your
hey, thanks.
No, surely, man. And I've used I dropped your link for your site a few times earlier. I'll drop it
Appreciate
again.
That.
Oh, man, it's great stuff. The feeling of this is like, to me, the old
the Burma shave sign.
Couldn't remember it. Thank you. My brain blanked. I'm like, the shave sign. What was it? Burma shave. Yes, sir.
Heard that many times.
It has that same hometown,
little snarky to it.
Cute edge. I love it. I love it.
As I've come to find out, the reason I got away with some of the snarkiness was they weren't paying very close attention, and I was when I started that job, it was like handed to me. And what I mean by that is I had started working there in 2011, and the lady that was renting it asked me to build a sign for them, a new sign, the sign that you see, the green sign. They wanted a new sign to announce weddings and birthdays and things like that. And so I said, okay. And I built them that sign, but I hadn't completed it when I went on a trip to Texas. And this woman had told this wedding party that they could have their name on the sign. And I wasn't able to produce. And she had still told them that they would. And she was so pissed. When I got back from my trip, she said, I quit. Now I'm just a volunteer in this community center. And she just essentially said, you do this stupid job. And I felt kind of guilty and responsible. And I'm a nice guy. So I took over that job. And then the first April Fools that came up, I put a very pointed, I don't know if anybody's familiar with the Morrison speed trap on 285 right out of Denver. I kind of inferred that Morrison had moved into Indian Hills, and it was the first sign of consequence on that board. And I pranked the whole county. The sheriff gave me a call. What's going on in Indian Hills? We heard that Morrison annexed. What? And I'm like, yeah, put an April Fool's joke on the board, and I laughed, and they laughed, and I really pulled the biggest April Fool's prank I've ever done. And
that's amazing.
After that, I just started throwing stuff on the board, and that's the story of how that started.
I apparently had missed the foreigner one that came through a while ago as Cammy was scrolling. The hot blooded. That's amazing, dude. I love it. These are so good.
I know he did one.
Well, there is a. Oops, sorry.
Oops, I was going to say I do know he did one that he might want to talk about it. The one that he did that created a huge stir in the whole Denver community between vegans and not vegans, and went completely newsworthy. So I know that I don't know if I can do it, but do you want to recap the vegan situation? And he has picked up flat earthers too, by the way. We'll have to talk to him about that too.
That's cool. We'll see if we get salty or not. We'll see what he said.
I put on the sign, and it was very innocent. Honestly, if turning vegan would be a big missed steak. You'd miss a big nice steak if you're a vegan. That's all it said. Turning vegan would be a big missed steak.
That's and people got upset about that.
Well, there was a honestly, it was a very popular. A couple of vegan restaurant owners drove through Indian Hills, saw it, decided that they changed the sign to turning vegan is awesome, which in itself is cool. But then they stole the rest of the letters, and then they bragged about stealing the letters, saying that these people will pay for their crime, So they documented this trip on Facebook, and then the stop right before was a ranch outside of Golden, and they went over the fence and they took pictures of them petting cows, and they posted this. And soon enough, somebody had picked up these pictures and sent all this to me. And so I sent them a threatening letter saying, if you don't give us our letters back in 24 hours, another cow dies. And I had a knife to a cow head. Anyway, we got our letters back. Great. We got some vegan donuts. They had a big apology. It was a lot of fun. And they got in trouble, unfortunately. They got in some trouble for trespassing.
Bring them back or another cow dies.
Oh my God, I love that one. Some people are such a treasure.
They're a little touchy.
That was a favorite too. They are such a treasure. You just want to bury them.
It's kind of like when you're down south and somebody says, "Bless your heart."
Bless your
heart. No, you've just been said, "Fuck you,
stupid son of a bitch." Bless your heart.
Oh, I love it.
Yeah, people that
Vince, there is a lot to be said for flying under the radar. We talk about that quite often here on our little channel, which, knock on wood, can stay nice and intimate, hopefully, for some time to come, because it is, unfortunately, when you get some attention, it brings some of the wrong attention. And some people just feel that as long as they're virtue signaling, they can get away with pretty much any kind of idiot fuckery they want to get away with. So it's just amazing what people think they're doing for the world and the community. And they're just trying to show people how, like I said, how virtuous they are, how along with the times they are.
So along that line, it sort of fits really well into this conversation, I think. I'm pretty sure it was the vice president I heard say this. And it sounded like an eerie, scary pun, almost. Anyway, but I think what the soundbite that I heard was, if you're fully vaccinated, if it's 2 weeks after your last vaccination, you can go ahead and shed the mask. Yeah, and I haven't.
There was a sign at the rest area that I pulled into 5 hours ago that said that. In South Carolina.
And see, I'm wondering if that's going to be the new catchphrase. If they're just still not going to punk every one of these motherfuckers. Didn't get the vaccine? Doesn't matter. Because all the fully vaccinated people can now shed the mask.
Yeah.
South Carolina made it illegal for you to use that as a basis of entry, or that, and the same with the schools, and that you can opt out of that entirely, as far as whether or not it's nobody's business whether or not you've had a vaccine or not. So, but we will get our channel shut down for doing this. You would think we would learn on the special COVID rules.
We will rage against the machine until it's over. Fuck them.
And I think that's why I don't get to see Rage until next year, is because they're waiting until they lift all these goofy ass mask restrictions and all this other bullshit, just so they can say, fuck it, it's a concert, everybody come and rock out. but yeah, it got pushed off till
Wait,
2022.
what did James say earlier?
Well, lots of places are getting back to normal, though. I know Florida and Texas, and they're having big concerts and sporting events, like certain sporting events at least. Things are, slowly in
They're
some
slowly getting back
places.
to normal.
Yeah.
Roads are busy, I'll tell you that.
Yeah,
I've been all
everywhere I
over
go
the
now.
country. Been all over the country. They're all busy.
Everywhere I go now, I see more people not wearing masks than wearing masks. And the way the numbers are talking, less than 40% of the population's been vaccinated. So it's not like all these people are vaccinated. If 90% of the people aren't wearing masks now and less than 40 have been vaccinated.
I mean,
think
it's probably like 12. I think they use 40 as just some arbitrary number. I mean, less than 40%. Swell.
I'm trying to think though, guys, on this trip this last week, I would have to say 70 to 80% of the people I saw had masks. Only 10 to 20 didn't. Most everywhere I went on the road trip anyway.
Were you in a lot of big cities?
I went from Denver, I-70, all the way through the country, heart of the country.
Yeah, but where you stopped, I mean,
Oh,
did you stop in Kansas, a couple places?
I stopped in Blue Springs outside of St. Louis. I was in some fairly busy places. But
yeah,
they all had.
Where you see more masks than anything. When you get out of the bigger city type places,
right,
and get a little more rural, it gets a lot less masks.
Yeah, that's true.
But yeah, it's going to take time. But I think this whole thing's slowly dwindling away here. Hopefully, we'll see. Time will tell.
So this is a good chance for us to get a point of view from somebody, because I haven't talked to my brother really much in a year since I've moved away, and we've been quite busy. But it's fun to hear a different point of view, somebody that does not live in what we call flat Earth world, and seeing how general things. What's it like in Colorado?
Right.
Yeah, what's it like in Colorado right now, Vince? Are there like you have to mask up to go shopping, or
yeah. Jefferson County just loosened up restrictions right when I left, but still, at the post office, they still have signs and they harass you if you don't, or some people do. It's just a story of two people. There's the people that believe this and the people that don't. And
yeah,
I think slowly though, just what I've seen, I think slowly it's just ebbing, and I feel like it's loosening up. Restrictions obviously are. I think that things are trending in the right direction with that. I hope so. And with the summer too, people are they've been cooped up for a year and a half. They're going crazy. They need to get out. People are going to get out, and that's a good thing.
No, it's my opinion, and Vince and I have not discussed this much. He knows people in the healthcare industry and knows people that have been like affected health wise. But in my opinion, one of the things that's going on is that people are wearing masks heavily, and again breathing their own and putting themselves in a bubble in a sterile environment, covering themselves with disinfectant and completely sterilizing themselves. So I do think that when they take the masks off and start hugging and getting around just germs again in general, that some people will get sick and that they're going to call it pandemic or another wave. What's your I know that you've never heard my point of view. What's your point of view of what's going on, Vince?
As far as masks, I never ever thought that they would do any good. I mean, the virus is smaller than the pores of any mask that people are using that they call masks. So the air and whatever's in the air is drifting outside of the mask. It's not doing anything. Maybe it's stopping projectile from going out quickly when you cough. But other than that, it's just in my mind common sense that they're mostly ineffective. Unless, I don't know. I don't even want to say in a dense situation because
yeah.
I agree with everything you say, by the way, and I just give you lots of hearts and that for saying it. My brother's smart. It runs, I'm
not smart. I don't have a big ring like you guys. I just can do 5 lines. Give me 5 lines, 14 to 15
like
characters per line. I'll spin a good pun, but other than that, I can't wrap my brain around all of this. It's hard.
In the day. I love it. So Christopher, what's it like for you, man, with there in Kansas City? Is it still mass crazy? Or you're in North
Yeah, I
Cali
grew
now?
up in Kansas City,
Yeah,
but I'm in
he's in-
Northern
Okay, yeah.
California. Yeah.
He's in a scary spot.
Yeah. That's like Commyville out there. It's crazy.
It's just so stupid, dude. I just see people like literally walking down the street on a beautiful sunny day. And I'm like, if you were like talking about chemtrails and the geoengineering and nanoparticles and you had like some sort of like legit mask on, I would actually get that like aspect of it. But that isn't anywhere where their minds are at. They're just hook, line, and sinker with whatever they've been programmed to think. And it's like so sad. It's like, it's funny. It's like we used to be looked at as like the crazy people, right? The people that questioned, you know, the indoctrination that we were given as children. And they, you know, before this whole pandemic like started, like, you know, we were looked at as like the crazy ones, the tinfoil hat wearers and stuff. And now like these people that would say that to us are the people literally walking around in a tinfoil hat, like with their diaper on, not using one single bit of their brains to understand. See, my whole concept of the whole mask is that people say that, oh, it could do some good, right? Like, oh, it's going to like stop a projectile and stuff like that. But in fact, like it actually does tons of horrible things. Like it traps all the bacteria in there. You're recirculating into your respiratory system. My middle child daughter has like asthma and stuff like that. As it is, dude, there's no freaking way I'm sticking one of those on my daughters, like ever. Like, I had like, you know, problems with the school, and they say, oh, they can wear like a face shield, right? So I'd have to go buy like these like $40 face shields for them so they could go in. And it wasn't my choice. The judge made me like put them into stupid camps. We had them in a private school. My wife she's psycho crazy chick.
Yeah, I thought when she paid for private schooling I thought you kind of could get around stuff like that.
Depends
like
on the school.
Charter.
The school
like
can get around.
Charter school that my son went to, we got away with a lot more there, like getting him in without inoculations and all that whole thing. So I guess different places, like you say.
It does depend on the school and with the private. Some of them go even more gung ho, where they're like private. We want more. We want to be controlled. You do what I say. You wear the uniform, and you know, again, do the thing on it. But yeah, it's all over the place.
I actually had my kids in like a pod school. It was like a schoolhouse, like a farmhouse school. It was on these people's property. They had acres of land. And there was no mask, there was no social distancing, there's no chemical hand sanitizers, nothing like that.
That's awesome.
So freaking good. They had like a whole live musical performance, like with like maybe 12 songs in it. And they did that within like 2 months, right? And so I was like super stoked. They don't have to be a part of this whole like madness. They have these like the safe haven. Well, you know, come like November when my wife wanted to divorce me because she thinks I'm psycho and crazy in the head, when I'm going to pick up my mom from the airport, she goes and grabs them out of like that pod school, tells everyone at the pod school that I'm psycho, believe that the earth is flat, and believe that they're spraying our skies with chemicals, like stuff that you could probably figure out on your own.
Provable shit, right?
And so she takes them out of there, and she like texts me. She's like, I took them out of the pod school and they're not going back. I told everyone that you're crazy, and they changed the gate code. And so she does this whole thing with the courts, and then obviously freaking courts are going to say, put them back in the indoctrination camps because that's where they want to go. And like, it just freaking broke my heart, man. Like, so horrible.
That also.
My heart goes out to you, man. I could not imagine that. I luckily, like I said, we found the charter school. Before that, I had done a lot of in-home things to really get him away from the programming. I had to teach him phonics, teach him how to actually learn how to read, not just memorize freaking lines of shit that he would never know what to do with a new word or that whole thing. And yeah, if any of this would have been going on with my son, I don't know what. I'd be that guy you would have seen him on the news sometime for sure. You know, the stories. He went nuts in the hall. The teachers all went down. I have grandbabies now that are in all of that, and I don't even know what to do. You know.
Well, if you remember, I know Karen has made it public, so it's no secret. But when her divorce was starting and that, and in the custody, she was put on the stand and like quizzed by her ex's or soon to be ex's lawyer for over 3 hours on being a flat earther. Like it has some type of semblance. And the judge saw through it. And
Nice.
so
I
it
heard
doesn't.
about it. I haven't seen the whole thing. I'm so glad she was brave enough to share that. That's
But yeah, while she was going through it, it was so intense. I mean, I talked to her today that we are very close. I talked to her the day that she was like finished in court, and she was like, "Oh my God, you would not believe it. I was there, and it was like hours. They had me on the thing hours asking me, and you believe this, and she's like, what the fuck does that have to do with what kind of mother I am and what?" But she, again, the judge looked at the whole thing, and even her ex had to admit that she was like an excellent mother, took wonderful care of her children. They were, well cleaned, educated, bright, lively, a great mother.
Yeah, it doesn't always work out like that though, because I've
No,
heard other
unfortunately.
ones that end up like Christopher.
Yeah. And Chris, if you don't mind, how old are the kids, man?
7, 9, and 12.
Well, I would think, without a doubt, just from the energy and the strength I see here on the show, that you've already, a little short time I got to know you, I think you probably have instilled some good stuff in those kids. So sending you lots of love, lots of energy for that, my friend, for damn sure.
Dude, I would love, people were like warning me, like, stay off of Facebook, don't post anything because of that very thing, right? But then in my head, I'm like, I would love to go on a stand and be grilled about flat earth and chemtrails and all. I mean, go for it. Let's freaking talk about it.
Let's get it out there.
I would love to have an open discussion.
That was pretty much Karen's answer on it. She answered everything honestly and says, "You want to talk about it?"
Let's go.
Yeah, the whole chemtrail thing, I mean, they don't even hide that anymore. They say that they're spraying aluminum, barium, strontium up into the air to build a solar blanket or blah, 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 whatever. They've got a bunch of different reasons.
The world's
and they got all the
biggest
patents
mirror,
for
yeah.
it too.
Yeah. Yes, sir.
Yeah, you could just hold up a heap of the patents and say, well, here it is in writing from the, 60s, 70s onwards, even earlier, probably.
Air balloons
20s.
in the 20s is when it started, I think. I remember
You guys want to know a really crazy thing that happened to me in December?
Heck yeah.
I was in a dark place, right? Because I didn't want a divorce. I didn't want to go through all this crap, dude. I didn't want to have to sell my house and all that kind of stuff. So people were reaching out to me, and then all of a sudden I got this text message from a kid that lived on my street when I grew up in Missouri. So all randomly I get this text message, and so long story short, he ends up telling me that, dude, everything that you're saying about the geoengineering program is all true. Everything that you're saying is true. And he goes, you know how? And I said, why are you saying that? How can you say that? He says, because I'm in the Air Force, and I was stationed in Alaska, and part of my job was to fill the tankers up, whatever, on the aircrafts. And he's like, strontium, barium, everything. And he had some other chemicals I never even heard of before, right? Well, the weird thing about that whole conversation was, we had conversations for a few nights, hours long conversations, right? And the thing that really struck me as super weird is that I'm super outspoken about it. And I even wrote a song like Chemtrails, and we can listen to it later. But the weirdest thing is that so apparently he's in the military, right? So he's telling me all these things, and he's sending me some screenshots and stuff on his phone. And he says, you know what, there's just a lot of things that we're not supposed to talk about. And, if you get shot down on Facebook, that's probably whatever. If this makes sense to you, it doesn't make any sense to me. If they're shooting you down this hard, because my cousin is a pilot he's in Germany or something like that for the military. And he was giving me the hardest freaking crap when all this stuff was when I was coming out with this. And he was making fun of me, dude. And he was saying, you don't even know what you're talking about. He's like, I'm in the military. We don't do any of that kind of stuff. So when my friend was telling me this in December, he goes, if they're coming down hard on you like that, and they're in the military, they're probably in some way telling you that what you're saying is true and is like really happening. That was weird. And then the other aspect that was super weird is that he's supposedly telling me all these like secrets, right? But he's telling me on like a phone, and he's like texting me this stuff.
Yeah,
you don't
you
think
gotta be
you get
careful with that
court-martialed in
stuff.
like 2 seconds? You don't think that the algorithms are picking up whatever we're saying, barium, strontium, aluminum, and like all those kind of things, and geoengineering, chemtrailing, and you're talking about the military and like Alaska and filling tankers. You don't think there's some algorithm out there that's legit picking this up like right now, and you're not afraid of like being court-martialed or whatever it is like that happens to you? So that was the last conversation I had with that kid, because just it was a super, super weird vibe. Almost like, I know this sounds crazy, but almost like the military was like, hey, you know that guy, can you just like cool him down and just shut him up for a while? I don't know. I mean, maybe not, but when I put everything together, it just didn't make
J Trig, man. J Trig.
Is that a thing? What is that?
Yeah, capital J dash TRIG. It's a government think tank group that goes on search of social media for certain trends and then tries to change, they're like the trolls, pretty much. The government paid agents that, are paid to do this stuff, that are dedicated and they're all the time, 24/7. You see these people in there. You can go apply for J-Trig right now. It's crazy. Yeah, but they're real. I mean, anybody can go look them up. But what you're talking about is a real thing. For sure, there are people that do that. Now, whether that guy was or not, he could have just been some loony. Who knows? But yeah, this stuff definitely does happen, for sure.
And he was like, he sent me a screenshot of his, they want him to be a part of the Space Force. And he was trying to tell me how
Space Force, then he needs to be, that's okay. So this guy was in Special Forces, then I take it, because I've looked into it. That's one of the requirements for joining Space Force. You have to be we're in the Special Forces. We're part of one of the Special Forces elite groups. You have to even be considered to be in Space Force. Yeah, so if he never told you he was a SEAL or a Ranger or JSOC or anything like that, no, then he's definitely full of shit. But these internet trolls are, But you don't have to be in the military to join this group. It's not like you have to be in the military, but it is like a government-ran think tank run through the DOD, no doubt, so yeah. But wow, yeah, I can't believe he told you that he was asked to join Space Force. That's funny.
He sent me a picture of his letter that they sent him. And I was trying to tell, so we had conversations about how space is fake and all that kind of stuff. And he's like, no, dude, they took me up in a special airplane. Like they took me into space. Like there was some of us that got to go up there and I saw the globe. And I'm like, oh man.
I need more than just that. I need some heights. I need some altitudes. I need to know, because according to their lie, you have to be in space basically to see it, right? Well,
big thanks to Vince for dropping in.
Oh man,
we might have got a little crazy for him, or there might have been some technical difficulties.
And it's possible we got a bit crazy. So, but truly, Vince, thank you for coming on. Please come back. Don't think we're that crazy. You hang out with your sister. She's a nut job. So please come hang out with us again sometime while you're there, even while you're not there. Bob and them will teach you how to do it from your house, a phone, laptop, something like that, man. It was cool talking to you, truly. And
we're a good place to practice,
Right,
just
dude.
Getting on and talking
it was
live.
Great.
With
I was going to tell you, if you felt
it
uncomfortable, it was brilliant having you here. It felt very comfortable. I mean, as you see, we're just chilling. Even Chris has loosened up and gotten down with us here. So it's good to feel that. And dude, if you feel like coming back in later and want to talk music or science or anything else.
Cars.
Bombs, oh, that's what's up.
Implements of
I've become a car guy of late. Only in GTA though. No, but I've shared the sign site. I've shared the
signs, cars, and bombs.
That's it.
What is
I've
Tesla?
Shared your site. I've shared the story. I'll do those again. Sorry, Zach. And I mean, sorry, Josh. Man, shut up and get y'all more
Nothing.
coffee.
I was making a crap joke about the 5-man acoustical jam and Elon Musk.
Since I'm getting low on coffee,
Tesla Tech.
and they were clamoring for it earlier in chat, let's hear some music.
All right. Let me see if I can figure this out.
Once you click the share down at the bottom, you'll see make sure you share the bottom clicks with the sound and the optional video thing before you click share. Did you do that?
Yeah, I see it. I'm like watching the stream on my phone.
Why are people snagging this $89 portable AC? I recently discovered how to refrigerate any room in my house in under 5 minutes without using my home's costly AC. For the past few years, the air conditioner industry had just 3 big companies that could at any prices they wanted and kept ripping off customers. A genius startup,
Of course, it's like not letting me skip or do
is turning this $135 billion industry on its head. But the
I
National
don't know, it's stuck.
Weather Service is reporting that it's going to be a super hot summer, maybe one of the hottest for decades. This product is quickly becoming the most successful in 2021. What is it? Meet the Breeze Max portable AC.
Know that face well, sir. Like, what am I doing? How do I do this? Why isn't it working?
Or below, and you'll go to a page, and that will tell you all about it. This is kind of long, and we think
you cannot skip that commercial.
So, click the link on the screen, head over to the next page, and kiss the heat goodbye this summer.
It's like your YouTube full screen. Yeah, I already said that. You know what's super frustrating is that I'm not monetized.
Oh, dude, that sucks that they're giving you all that kind of crap while you're not monetized. I don't get that. Why they just throw commercials on channels that aren't monetized? I've noticed that.
Well, if there's copyright infringement, if you've got somebody else's stuff on there, then they're going to want to earn it.
Is that where it comes from?
You hear this?
I never thought about that aspect.
Not very
Sorry,
well.
what was it?
You hear this?
Yeah. Jet streams to control the weather. We don't fly through a space. Never ending, never nice try. You know.
Yes, we hear that.
No, I'm not.
We're not seeing anything, but we do hear it. Which is fine. I'm just letting you know.
Always hard to swallow, you won't die.
Harmonies.
Never leave, but follow my ass why. Why don't you care about the I never opened your eyes once to accept the lie. Crowd is just a dream, a globalist paradise to see. The earth is just not spinning. We can see the sun and moon having a line. Perfect symmetry of life is paradise to see. The stars are all that's spinning. Yes, satellites are fake. 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 Satellite, where did you go? Way up high in your big balloon. Satellite, where did you go? Way up high in your big Satellite, where did you go? Way up high in your big balloon. Satellite, where did you go? Where did you? Satellite, where did you go? Way up high in your big balloon. Satellite, where did you go? Way up high in your big Satellite, where did you go? Way up high in your big balloon. Saddle, where did you go? Way up high in your big balloon. Where did you go? Way up high in your big balloon. Where did you go? Way up high in your big balloon. Where did you go? Way up high in your big balloon.
That is awesome.
Dude, holy shit.
Dude, that was sick.
Holy shit, that's good.
Did anybody did you have anybody edit that? Like all the like remaster or master it or anything like that?
So the instruments on that
stuff?
Yeah, so the instruments on that tune, it came from an app that I use. It's called BandLab. And that was actually a song that there'll be a lot of musicians on there that just throw on beats and just whatever they have without vocals. And so randomly I'll just come across one that just clicks, And so that one was just it just clicked. And so I used the BandLab app just to do all the recordings and stuff. And it's just kind of like a garage band or.
We're going to have to talk about that more off air because they're not giving us any money for sure. But damn. I'm being stupid. I'm being totally stupid. Our buddy Horry Sheet, shout out Horry, my angel. Waiting on you, buddy. Anyway, he told us about it. When was that? 2 or 3 shows ago, 5 or 6 shows ago? Because we were all talking about how it's hard to, dude, Lucas. If you haven't checked out Lucas's music that he's kind of teased us here and there with on his channel and given us some little tastes of, I've heard a lot more behind the scenes I can't share, but dude, Lucas rocks. We can't sit here and jam together on these damn apps. There's so much lag, so much latency. It's just hard to do it. You can't make it happen unless you send tracks back and forth and wait and hope it works out. Oh, I wanted you to do this, and it's just time consuming. As you know, editing sucks. So yeah, that idea of it being there and everybody kind of could go to a place, maybe set up how much is it, like a subscription type thing, or how does it work? No, you just go do it.
Pay for Jack. Yeah.
Interesting. He told us about it, and
I like your attitude.
That's what's up, brother. You got me excited.
The cool thing is that all the vocals were recorded just by using an Apple.
Holy shit, I'm excited.
Just a headset thing.
That's crazy.
Super legit, from where we came from.
Right, because dude, like I said, it's a struggle for me to understand. I love cranking up my guitar and messing around over there, and I can throw a track on Karaoke Made and sing to it. But me trying to make it all happen in my computer, Lucas is Jedi training me, and I'm just so lost. That freaking app he sent me is so daunting. It's just way beyond Audacity, which is what I used to play around with. That's so simplistic compared to the shit he's doing. I'm like, dude, holy crap. And if you haven't
Studio One, you mean?
Yes, sir. Yep.
Oh, yeah.
Yep. That's next level. Next level. So, yeah, I'll definitely go check that out, dude. And awesome. So the video for that is the one that got taken down.
Yeah. And it was a pretty cool one that he did and had good visuals and stuff. But I really like.
Go ahead. No, go ahead. Because I have a thing that can do some tricks that can kind of circumvent some things about copyrights because I pay for a license with it.
Mm-hmm.
So I have some stock images. I have a lot of stuff that's my own personal stuff. I've done some B-roll with the Steadicam and stuff. I mean, I've got some stuff that can make an interesting video if you want to get together something that might not get taken. Oh, no, it was his channel, not the copyright
issue. The whole channel was taken.
The whole channel, never mind. So, yeah, it's not a copyright issue. Get his and stick it up. We'll put it on our channel, dude. That shit's jamming. But I want to get it out there is what I'm saying. I would help you get a video made if it would help get it back out there.
Yeah, your vocals were great. How
Fucking
you
awesome,
sort of,
dude.
interlink them and
all of it.
Yeah, brilliant.
Yep.
How many different
I
people?
can't stop smiling
Is it
about
just
it.
you?
That's where I struggle.
Was that just you singing?
Yeah.
Wow, that is awesome.
Yeah, very nice, brother.
Thanks.
Just amazing.
Yeah, I'm saying lots
you got some pipes too. You hit it a couple times.
Yep.
And right when I thought you were going to end, it just kept going. I was like, wow, okay.
I see lots of good feedback in the chat there if you want to go scrolling through there and check it out. They're all digging it as well. So
when I was in April 6th, when I was like 19, when I first got signed to Elektra Records, the guitar player from Hoobastank was the guy that, his name's Dan Estrin. He was the guy that was at a club or whatever, and he saw us, and then he like brought the guy from, his company or whatever. We actually ended up getting like all throughout the whole thing. We ended up having Hoobastank and Papa. They have the same manager, Papa Roach and Hoobastank. And he ended up managing us. And then, and we also had the same. So the producer that did Papa Roach and Hoobastank, even The Reason, that whole like stuff for Hoobastank, he ended up becoming our producer as well. So that was pretty cool.
So you've worked in the industry with some serious people.
Maybe. I'm sorry, Zach. Sorry.
No, my bad, Walt.
So you still signed up to those guys, or are you just sort of independent now?
Yeah, because whatever. I have 3 beautiful daughters, so it's fine. But at the time I was touring, and it was really hard to be touring and like, potentially get married to a girl. And so we were sitting down on her couch, and then I was telling her, I can't do this. I can't be on tour and be with you at the same time. So I'm going to have to end it with you. And I just got to try to make this whole career work. And in that same conversation, I changed my mind and I quit the band and I married her. So
the heart does what the heart wants to do, friend.
That's what we'll call it. The heart. We'll call it the heart.
Shut up! I said hard. You didn't hear the right last emphasis anyway. But yeah, I hear you. That's crazy.
And you never know. You may not be,
Well, if you understand what goes on in the music industry, as some people say, then you may be glad it never.
For real.
Oh, you got further than me. I always wanted to be a musician, and now I'm just some hack in a bedroom with a dodgy old acoustic guitar and a cheap ass drum kit trying to make music.
Go listen to Lucas's shit and then let him tell you about that dodgy fucking acoustic guitar that he makes all that happen with. I still don't understand how you make all that, dude.
Ooh, I'm excited.
Let's hear Lucas's jam.
Yeah, he's an artist.
Let's hear Lucas's jam.
Which one?
Fuck that. Wake the house up. Bust out the guitar. We'll just do it live right now. Wake everybody up.
Throw it down.
Alex won't mind.
Get one foot on the kick drum over there.
No, I'm not doing a beat.
No, dude, pick a song. You're the man. You know what you want to share.
All right, I'll find something.
All right, while Lucas is looking. That's awesome, though. I'm so excited every time we have this music thing, and I'm so glad Josh has gotten this idea of us doing at least one music show per week? No, I'm kidding.
On a weekly show.
Oh, that would be so. It turns out that most of our shows we delve into at least 1 or 2 discussions of a musical thing, especially if there's something going on in the news that we want to bring up. Speaking of, Randy Rhoads finally got some honor recently. If you guys are old like me, you'll care. Randy Rhoads was a metal god, taken far too young.
Oh, I was thinking of the wrestler.
No, Randy
Dusty Rhodes.
Oh, Randy Rhoads, guitar.
Every time he says Randy Rhoads, in my mind, I picture
What's
Dusty
wrong
Rhodes.
with you people?
I see him going, if doo-doo is good enough for me, then doo-doo is good enough for you.
Saint Rhodes was an amazing guitar player, and basically the reason I finally did pick up a guitar. Before that, Ace Frehley was my guitar hero, but I was 8, and there were comic books that had those same kind of dudes in it, so guitar, cool. But I really wanted to understand why those certain sections of the Kiss songs really had this feeling that made me feel like I was somewhere else and flying and in space and like all kind of things that weren't normal in other songs. And it was Ace Frehley's solos. So when I went to see Ozzy Osbourne live for his Diary of a Madman tour, and those gates rolled up and there was this little small dude over there and he was just jamming and amazing. And when the guitar solo break happened and he did that same solo you'll hear on the Blizzard of Oz, on the live album with him, that's when I went, oh, tomorrow. And I literally that week got that Tiesco Delray guitar. So
is that the new Head PE? Is that the new Head PE you got there, Lucas?
What? There you go.
I know Head PE is coming out with some new stuff.
No. It's just an old one. I just had it on some USB, and then it got transferred over. But this song here, I just put it out on a video the other day. So if you come up with any lyrics there, Chris, let me know. All right, I'll see if it works.
Not hearing anything here, Lucas.
You got a nice big dramatic build-up. Is that what it is?
Oh, it's not playing?
A real slow fade in.
Real slow.
I just thought I shared. I'll see if I
think there's a share audio.
So when you hear share screen,
obviously
when you hit share screen, there's going to be optimized for video clip and share sound.
Yeah, share sound. Okay.
Way down there in the corner, it likes to hide.
Just trying to help.
Thought I pressed that. Try again.
Yep.
Those are begging for some vocals.
Dude, is it not? Isn't it just hurting?
Yeah.
I was scatting along behind the scenes.
Yeah, I already hear
I actually hit my space bar, so if y'all heard it, I'm sorry.
Yeah, they definitely need vocals over the top of it. It's got verses and choruses and all that sort of stuff.
Super cool, man.
So I've got another about 14 or 15 songs similar to that.
Dude, with all this talent that we gather here on a regular basis, and I mean, like I said, I may not be the best, but I definitely can sing some awesome background. We need to make this shit happen. There's no reason for this to not have some amazing vocals.
I just asked Jaron. I
put off
told
the
him
vocals.
You suck, man, because I heard that song you put on for us the other day that had that more rock edge, not quite so industrial, not industrial, new metal, whatever. That rock one. And I heard
he
your
just
voice.
called your music lame, Lucas. Did you hear him?
You can call it lame. That's fine.
I didn't say that at all. That rocking one.
Makes you want to put your feet up and enjoy the sound.
The one.
Oh, you want the let your hair down one. Yeah, it's not finished yet. So
yeah,
what's it?
I know
you'll get there.
You're not going to let us hear it. I know. That's fine.
That's the one by Lucas King.
That's right, Lucas King, baby. You gotta say baby at the end.
Yeah, baby.
Josh, make Lucas laugh.
That's not hard. He knows it. Shit.
That's awesome. Hey, I laugh every time I hear it too. So don't
it cracks me up.
Can't help it. And that's a goat screaming. That's not a child or a woman or anything like that. It's a goat. Pissed off goat.
And the reason we know that's a goat, science.
No, you don't badmouth science in this place. Fuck that shit. Science. It's real, bitches.
Oh, shit.
Thanks for the cue up there, Walt.
Hey, I do my best. I'll just toss them. Hopefully you'll catch them and throw them back. So, before we get too far along and lose the thread, is there another song that has a video you'd like to share with us? Because, I mean, again, if we do get a strike, we'll fix it. You were the guest, and who cares? We don't
I don't see why you would get a strike, though. Nothing I have is
You'd be surprised.
I can do it if you want
because
to
it's
drop
on
the
your
link.
channel.
I can
share another one.
Didn't we get struck by the fucking Smurf?
That's what I'm saying, dude. We didn't get just struck. We got blocked across the plane from Smurfs.
Yeah. Smurfing
From the
idiots.
Smurfs, from Led Zeppelin, from Pink Floyd, from something else. What was the other one?
Yeah, Pink Floyd copyrighted, or they didn't strike me, but they copyrighted me for playing Wish You Were Here. I was like, really? I don't sound good at all. I mean, you could probably barely tell that's what I was playing, you know?
And then I fucked around and tried to promote an obscure animation studio and their lowly little flat earth related video, and we got taken off our own channel for 3 fucking months. So guess we don't learn our lesson, do we?
No.
Anyway, share away if you would like, sir. I want to hear more.
Not
You know
these.
that dude?
Why is it? Oh, here we go. Let's see.
If by chance it's too much for your work computer, you can just drop the link here in the Zoom chat or
truly
somewhere, and one of us can share it. I should be ready to go if you need.
Well, maybe not you, but I'll share it.
Why don't you go F yourself?
Maybe not you, yeah. Just in case.
Why are you playing that?
It's just fun
This
to
should
catch
be
it
it.
up.
This one, I think Wes Blaze made this one, but there's one on Facebook that has like 250,000 views on it.
Fucking A, dude.
Yeah. Or almost 250,000. Load.
Well, do you believe that NASA lost all the telemetry data to go back to the moon? Well, do ya? It's time for us to call them out. It's time for us to expose their lies. It's time for us to take control. It's time for us to wave goodbye. NASA, the great deception. NASA, the great deception. NASA, the great deception. NASA, the great deception. call them out. It's time for us to expose their lies. It's time for us to take control. It's time for us to wave goodbye. NASA, the great deception. NASA, the great deception. NASA, the great deception. NASA, the great deception. NASA, the great deception, NASA, the great deception, NASA, the great deception. NASA, NASA, NASA. Don't believe a word that they say. That's right. NASA, NASA, NASA. Don't believe a word that they say. 1, 2, 3, let's go!
Holy shit, dude. That was
I hear at the very beginning I felt date rape. Did you like Sublime?
I hate when that happens.
Yeah, I know, man. We're trying to keep it down to a family show and things just get all off track.
Yeah, I used to listen.
Yeah. I just heard a little bit of Sublime in there in the beginning. I was like, dude, that's where I know that. It wasn't the same, but it was, it wasn't even the same, but it was.
Yes, Your Honor, it was date rape-esque.
Who assembled that for you, if you don't mind me asking?
Who what?
Who put that video together for you?
I think Wes Blaze did it.
Yeah, nicely done. Lots of nice stuff.
Nice.
One on YouTube, one on Facebook's a lot better.
Well, I like
that. So that was your band playing that?
Yeah, so the cool thing about that is that so I have this like weird gift to where I can take the same exact music and find different melodies and different lyrics for the same exact track. And so that was a song that we did in Gravity's Gone called Heart Won't Stop. And then I was just home one day and I was just like messing around with just the track of instruments. And then I just started to like, overlay some different lyrics and melodies to it. And so I was able to turn it into like a truther like song.
Hell yeah.
Sweet.
I was wondering how they felt about playing that music to those kind of lyrics. Do they have any issue? You said there's like nobody around you that thinks the same way you do. Did they take any issue at all with some of the stuff that are they just like playing, looking at you like, what the fuck is this guy even saying?
I don't get to play those songs with them. I have to play like the relationship like version. Yeah.
Well, not for nothing. I can kind of see why, because I hate to say it like this, but you got to pick your battles, and ex-wife, she can come or go, but for the bandmates, we'll just tone it down just a touch. No, but even where you are, even being able to stand up where you are and think the way that you do and be able to just say, don't you see, is should be applauded. It's a very brave thing to do, especially there in Northern California. Where A, it's so obvious and so prevalent, and B, where it's so effective with what they're doing. But to be able to have the bravery to stand up and just say, look. And again, we've had personal friends through this show that have had to lose relationships, marriages,
yes, sir.
Blood relation, family, people that because of this idea that maybe the earth is not what they were taught in school. And that's enough for other people to just completely kill a relationship. And so for you to even say, you know what, I'm not going to do it. And I bet you, as a father, there's probably a whole lot that had to do with your children, your girls in there with that decision to say, I will not back down on this, because that's the kind of behavior that got us into the situation in the first place. So I've got to take a stand.
No, you're 100% right, man. Like for the past 3 years, she's been calling me crazy. She's been telling me to get off the flat earth stuff, to stop talking about the chemtrails, to, concentrate on the girls, right? Concentrate on our daughter's lives and in our relationship. And I'm like, but it's all one and the same. Like, I don't want them spraying the skies with heavy metals that my daughters are going to be breathing in. They're going to be drinking the water. They're going to be eating that toxic food from the toxic soil. It's all one and the same. If you want me to care about the girls, then you're going to want me to talk about this kind of stuff, because I want it to stop.
Yeah, well, you're caring about their future and the future of our world. I mean, that's how it's all the same. I mean, I feel the same way about my kids. I don't want them, brought up into a world where it's, poisoned food, poisoned air, and, living with the lies that we have to go through. So, that's why I do all this, put all this energy in for free. So it's, at some point, maybe it does turn around and you start building a better world. But, if I don't get on my little high horse and pedestal every now and again to try and promote it, nothing's going to happen.
Exactly.
Yeah, you know what happens when good men sit around and do nothing?
That's when evil prevails.
Yeah, evil prevails.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I don't want to bring up harsh shit, man. I know it's rough. It's not been that long. But if you don't mind discussing it a bit, just to kind of give some kind of enlightenment to folks who are in the same situation. Because as Josh said, we've had some very close friends who were part of the literal formation of Iron Realm Media 6 years ago. Whew, good Lord. And they have literally lost, family, life. Others have skirted the line a time or two. And so, yeah, it's definitely a thing that causes some serious, dramatic emotional rifts. Is it more of is she one of these who sits around with the news in her face 24/7 on TV? Is it more of I can't get Facebook off the phone? Is it kind of that situation? Or she just would never even look at anything you presented? Is it?
There's a combination. She always she dealt with depression, anxiety, and mental issues. And so one thing is that I don't think her brain could even go there. Whenever we would talk about it, she'd just be like, I don't even, it's
serious cognitive dissonance.
All right, just trying to have a conversation, but
yeah, I had one friend literally storm out of an apartment the first time I tried to put on a little video for our really close in-laws and a friend and stuff, and he literally left the apartment and couldn't even I won't watch this. I won't watch this. I was like, it's just information. I'm not we're not watching children get dismembered. We're not watching horrible stuff. It's just some info, dude. But yeah, it's amazing how some people just can't let their brain even entertain an otherwise thought. I mean, yeah.
Yeah. The other aspect of it is that since I was prevalent on Facebook, and all of the people that we knew and our friends and everything, for back when I lived in Colorado or even Missouri or in SoCal, everyone was on Facebook, So I think the other aspect of it was she thought I was crazy, and she didn't want anyone else seeing how crazy I was, and so that was the other aspect. She's like, just get off of Facebook and just stop doing everything that you're doing. And it's nah. I've even had people come up and say, hey, your marriage is having rough patches and stuff. Why don't you just stop talking about it all? I'm like, because that's not the life I want to live. I don't want to live a life where I'm just
living a lie.
Being a zombie, mindless zombie that just does whatever anybody else wants me to do. I mean, I've never been like that. So,
well, if you in that sort of case, when you're not standing up for the truth or the things that are right, you're actually sort of standing for the other side, aren't you, or allowing it? So you definitely, you got to stand in what you believe. Otherwise, you sort of cut your own legs out from underneath you. You got no sort of root then.
That's part of evil's game right there. They, they know they can't hide it from everybody, but they make it so they don't even have to do it. Your own family, your own friends will ostracize you for them.
Dude, my parents came up like 2 years ago. 2 years ago, they came up to Northern California. They live in SoCal. They came up to literally have a talk with me about how crazy I was getting, about flat Earth and my new belief system and stuff like that. And it's so weird because so my parents are Christians. They raised me as a Christian. I was raised in the church, and I'm still a God believer, follow Christ and stuff like that. So it's weird that they can parse through certain indoctrinations, right? Like when it comes to, like, they're like, yes. Oh, evolution. Oh no, evolution's not okay. Yeah, evolution's bad. Believe in evolution at school, or, the Big Bang. No, that's not a Big Bang. Blah, 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 blah. But then when you talk to them about everything else, it's like, oh, why would they lie about the spinning ball? Why would they lie about the heliocentric, theory and stuff? Why would they lie about, about spraying our skies? Why would they even do that? I'm like,
they just called them liars. They just called them liars. And now they're asking you, well, why would they lie?
Exactly.
Yeah. It's crazy.
Yeah,
that's the same thing that's going on now with you got the beforehand. It's like, oh, we don't ever trust the politicians or the government, but then in the next sort of moment, everyone's putting a mask on and believing everything they say and doing everything they say. It's just like in one moment you're calling them liars, and the next minute you're going along with every story they tell you. The same damn thing. It's nuts how that separation within the mind happens.
It doesn't make any sense. Like, how are they parsing through stuff like that?
Yeah, it really is strange, and especially when, like what Walt was saying before about dealing with information. It's just information. You just there seems to be an inability to actually just look at information without some sort of belief system or emotions attached to that information. Because I can go through multiple different sort of lines of information, even if I don't believe it. You can still look at it and not be. Yeah,
got some weight after all. That's how I got here. I was going, okay, what's all this video shit they keep?
Unless you don't have that root, unless deep down you've been living a lie this whole time. You're just going through somebody else's motions of what happiness should be. I'm not going to look at information because I know how wishy-washy my ass is. So keep it away from me, because I might be swayed like that, because I don't really make my own decisions. So I have to be very careful what information goes in front of my face.
But dude, like with Trippy McGee, dude, this is a person who literally, he and I summoned things into existence with the life we were living of intent through things we did. I mean, that's how our level of exploring this realm was, with everything. Castaneda books, aliens, yes, we were there, okay. But we always were open and exploring through all the secret hidden messages of music and all this stuff. The lies of the government, Raging Against the Machine, the whole 9 yards, 9/11, you pick one, until this all turned into be motionless, flat, and not doing any of the bullshit we were told. And it's like, okay, so everything they're doing is a lie up to the NASA line. And after the NASA line, it all turns into a magical fairy tale of truth. How is that even something you can make work inside your fucking head after I know the path you've been on? I've lived it with you. Look at a real good friend of mine is who I'm talking about, who used to spend quite a bit of time in our chats and hasn't been here in some time now. So, yeah, and knowing that that's just a line he will not cross, it just breaks my brain, with knowing how open he was to everything to look at as an option, except this one thing. And it's just like, no, NASA's true. Don't get it, Bob.
I want to give a quick shout out to Reperception. there in chat too, who's going through similar situation with his significant other, and these differing viewpoints, and how, some things you've got to be able to have that, share that common ground with. And this is, again, the problem with television, is that everybody uses it as their litmus test on how to live their lives, even if it's on how to have a relationship. They don't ever think about a lot of the important things that need to be cussed and discussed before you agree to spend the rest of your lives together. Right? So before you take that vow, before you say, hey, you that made me and you that I love and all the people that I love around us, this is what I'm going to do with my life now. There's things like this that the conversation's never been even thought to be had because we've been distracted with so much other bullshit. Why would you and your wife, Chris, have had this conversation before? Because it took a lot of discovery and self-discovery and rediscovery and researching and refinding to get to where you are. And it again took a lot of bravery to stand up and say, no, what you're saying is wrong, to people who aren't used to having people tell them, no, you're wrong. And it can put you in some real uncomfortable situations. But if we can get to the point where we can make it more mainstream and just put these ideas out there, that these are things you really need to think about as far as vaccinations. I mean, I don't know that I'm in a position where a vaccine would ruin my relationship, but luckily that would be the first straw, not the last. So I can't imagine being in a position where everything is being just a constant battle, or that's a lie. I can definitely imagine that. Thanks, babe.
Dixie. Big hugs, Dixie. Sorry.
Well, again, because this is where that would be the first block. But again, we're in a position where I don't know that that decision, regardless of what the other one decided to choose, would be a deal breaker as far as our marriage. So again, I don't even know that would be a first straw. But being divorced, I do know what it's like to be made to feel less than what you should feel like, because you think differently than what other people think. Not because you're wrong, because they'll tell you you're right, but because you're different, because you're speaking out, you're standing out. And that's what they don't like. They don't like that spotlight of attention, because they're not living that true life themselves. They know they're still living there with their legs cut out from underneath them, just kind of like a ship lost in the wind, looking for that any port in the storm. Back to the Good Will Hunting reference. And it can be a really scary situation to be in. I think for both people. I just think it's fucked that this world is what it is, where even the divisions are dividing us. I was listening, I don't know who it was, Tom McDonald, or it might have been Chris Webby. It was one of those rappers out there talking about how it's like whether you wear the mask or not can almost determine what political role you political side you fall on, whether you're a Democrat or a Republican. Even, I don't know, I think I'm conflating things now. Maybe it's low blood sugar or low calories because I see my dinner just got here. But again, I do want to applaud you, Chris. And Reperception, if you ever want to get on here, I'm pretty sure we've discussed this before, but looks like 2021 seems to be the year of fulfilling promises. Finally getting things done, which said I would get done. So if you do want to come on and talk about that, or talk about
or
a
even
podcast,
not
or
come
talk
on.
about
If you want to come hang out, dude, and just talk behind the scenes, off the air, anytime, friend. I mean, trust me, we've all been through all of this shit, definitely, and you know, this is family, and yeah, you are one of the family. So let us know if you want to talk. Hit up Josh; he knows how to get in touch with you for sure. So sending lots of love.
Or if you just make a post on your website, I get notified right away in my emails.
Oh, there you go.
So there you go. You just put the holler out on your website, and I'll get it that way too. Otherwise, we are ironrollmedia@gmail.com. That goes to anybody.
Yeah.
Always. I don't really say it tongue in cheek, but the way I say it is a little cheeky, maybe. But it really is a lot like therapy for these shows that we do when we get together. Again, I've been talking at Walt for going on 6 years now.
Even longer, because we were trying to get it together, for at least a year before that? Holy shit.
Probably. Can you imagine doing less than we do now?
Oh, that was some days. Shout out to the old school days. Cal, where you at, buddy? Where are you at?
Who was our South African buddy?
Yep. Miss Cal, for sure.
I've got a list somewhere, probably in the Twitter room somewhere, of everybody we could still get and try to reach out to.
Yeah.
There's a
we
pile
need to have a family reunion show one day.
But it is. It's like,
make sure we get in touch with John and James.
It's like group therapy. You better watch yourself.
I know, boy. I'm going to get flamed for that one. Sorry.
It is a lot like group therapy to come in here because, again, I do share in my struggles and I share in my victories, and we get to do that together. And I've always wanted to be a place of comfort where Crow 777 can not have to put on his presentations and kick back and have a couple cocktails and just hang out with us. And where it's just a super relaxed atmosphere. It does seem super unprofessional, but that's kind of the point. It's meant to be that way because we don't know what we're doing. We're here because we love it. And that's it. If we knew what we were doing, we might be successful, and fuck all that. So I think this is much better because it gives us a chance to be more intimate and just be able to talk about how jacked up it is having to point. I had a video from, I think, 9 years ago, something like that, of chemtrails back when I was doing chemtrail assault videos on my YouTube channel. And it's two very clear, plain chemtrails making big U's. It's a U, right? Why do two planes need to make U-turns in the sky? One, maybe, right? Emergency landing, you got to turn around and go back to where you came from. I get it. Why two?
Oh, that's what those blinking lights were back there. Fuck. Okay. Turn around.
Oh, shit. Did I miss my turn? I'm going to go back.
Is this Albuquerque?
The first one forgot his lunch. Yeah.
I got to take a piss.
And when you got to sit up there and look at it, and just like good humor, it just ruins it when you have to explain it. You don't have to say, it shouldn't be a fucking checkerboard. But I don't know. It's just super frustrating when it's so obvious. And you have to
so obvious. That's
spend the energy. Yeah. But contrails, all jet engines put off exhaust.
You guys blast in the sky for 4 hours.
For 4 hours, more. Right. And then they just turn into this big milky white cloud that covers everything. Perfectly normal. Why not?
Big gloop drops coming out every few.
And the Kembos I love, going just through the big droopy drips of the spiraling fluid as it comes out the back of the fucking jet. People are like, well, I don't see it, but.
Sorry, you were saying something, Chris.
I'm looking for it. I have a chemtrail song.
Nice. That's awesome, because I think I do need coffee. I want to hear the song. I'm fucking with
I'm like, oh, that's rude as fuck. But whatever. That's coffee.
Actually,
turn it up as you go.
I think I was going to say, I think I can crank it up for the whole house.
That's what I do. Generally, when I go to smoke, I just turn it up through my stereo.
That's what I was saying. I think I can crank it up. I think I have it set up again.
Hey, Chris, just on the topic of musicians and that, have you been disappointed with the lack of,
Tool
well-known musicians coming out, or lack of them coming out and actually, speaking up, especially some of these bands who supposedly, put themselves as anti-establishment and all that sort of stuff. And you just hear, I've heard nothing, no anti-mask, no nothing about this. So
as you showed
I don't
earlier,
know.
quite the converse.
To me, it's disappointing.
Someone was saying that they were going to go see Rage.
Yeah, that's me.
Yeah,
Booked it for
I'm surprised they didn't just like, we're doing a show. Screw you guys. We're doing a show. Yeah. Like, I'm super surprised of all people, they didn't.
Mm-hmm. Me too.
Like, yeah.
Just one song. They only just needed one song. Release one that actually, said, fuck this shit that's going on now,
Or I'm surprised
really, it's not that hard.
Show. I'm surprised they just didn't open, when everyone thing was shut down, there were no shows going on. I'm surprised Rage Against the Machine didn't just find an open field, freaking set it all up, dude. I would have been there in 2 seconds.
They did one outside of Wall Street, shut down Wall Street for a bit. I mean, they're supposed to be, going against the banks or, all that sort of stuff. And they're printing billions of dollars a month now. So where are they? Where's the rest of them? Where's all these punk bands that are supposed to be against the system? Nothing.
Old.
Crickets, man. Crickets.
They don't have energy anymore.
Wait, what's the song?
Mohawks have all grown out.
Anyone hearing the Stephen Wilson Porcupine Tree?
No.
I know. There's a song called The Sound of Music, and in it he talks about the songs of rebellion makes you want to rage, but it's written by millionaires who are nearly twice your age. So, I mean, it's a fucking business. I mean, as much raging as they did and as much whatever they did,
we were meant to hear it.
We got through and we heard it, right? We all know what it takes to get to that level in the industry. I used to be the biggest Metallica fan. Other than Randy Rhoads, James Hetfield was my next guitar idol that I learned things from. So if it went for him, I wouldn't have my right hand downstroke. Well, that sounded bad. But the turn they took on the fucking Black Album and the fucking radio songs when they swore they would never suck radio's ass, and it was like betrayal to me. And it was just like a wake up to okay, so these guys aren't really what they say they are, and from that point on I kept looking for those true people who were true to what they say, and I thought I'd found it in Tool and Maynard and that whole thing, and dude, I loved it, and there was lots of great spiritual stuff and great lyrics, and then I started hearing this and hearing that and reading things and seeing things and finding out about Danny Carey's real fucking Solomon sigils all across his shit, and okay, there's a lot more going on here than I knew about these dudes. And then I found out all this subliminal shit, and I start hearing it for myself, and it's like, really, you fuckers? And then I think, it's not like they didn't exactly tell us in their fucking lyrics. Maynard said it. I sold my soul to sell a record. I sold out long before you ever even heard my name. It is not like we weren't told up front. So to be disillusioned, it sucks, but I still love music. I still love it, and I will talk about it for hours.
Here, let me play this one for you.
That's what's up.
They work in secret. You'll never know until it's too late. They call me stupid, hoping that I'll drown in fake shame. Funny thing is that they'll never get to me. Investigating their lies is what powers me. Tic-tac-toe, yeah, I just gotta know, is this all just a game? Chemicals in the sky. Look up, we'll never get better. There's nowhere left to hide. Look up, we'll never. Can't you all see the chemicals? Yeah, the chemicals. Chemicals in the sky. I see the patterns the jets create as they all spray. My God, I wonder. I watch the skies turn from blue to gray. You wanna know the truth? I'm getting sick of it. I'm tired of hearing the lies, yeah, I'm done with it. It's getting harder to breathe, yeah. It's getting harder to breathe. Chemicals in the sky. Look up, oh, now you're better. There's nowhere left to hide. Look up, oh, now can't you all see the chemicals? Chemicals, chemicals in the sky. Chemicals in the sky. Look up, we'll never get better. There's nowhere left to hide. Look up, we'll never. Can't you all see the chemicals? The chemicals, chemicals in the sky. Chemicals in the sky. Can't you all see the chemicals?
I really like that.
Fucking awesome, dude. Did Gavin get in touch with you on that one?
That was sweet.
Come on, dude. That was fucking awesome. Straight up, like not 16 Stone. What was the next album? But come on.
Chemicals between us, lying in your bed. Yeah.
That shit sounded so.
There's no lonelier place. Yeah.
The best music, Ball, is from good shit. I mean, dude, the first time I heard Rage Against the Machine, every song I would go, wait, don't I know this riff? Remember the first time you went, wait, I know this riff. You didn't. It just sounded like it.
I think that's amazing that you actually made that connection, because that's exactly what was going through my head.
Hey, that was brilliant stuff. I was a big fan, as you can tell. Back in the day, you know, I don't know where they're at now these days. Probably masked. Oop, I didn't want to go there. But yeah, that was good stuff.
Thanks.
Damn. I don't know how we're going to keep topping these musical shows, dude. We already had awesome shit with JT and fucking Lucas every week, and then we got this and
even TJ.
What did I say?
Mad Pie Man in chat says, I'm singing that song now when I see Chemtrails.
Right? Fucking A. That shit was awesome. So have you got an album that's available for people to actually go purchase, or do they just go to your YouTube channel and jam? What's going on?
Yeah, just go to the YouTube channel and it's all free on there. And
dude, look, I know it's free and it's awesome for people, but you should assemble it somehow and get it out there like on one of the places. I'm telling you, friend, this is some good fucking stuff.
You get a tip jar somewhere, Chris, somewhere where they can drop you a little tip money?
Patreon or
no?
Dude, Chris, look, I'm not just going I know Lucas always, like, he was very reluctant to come in here and be on the air and talk, and he's really broken through that shell. And this whole thing about his vocals, I think we're going to push him through that. You know, the fucking music you guys are putting together is amazing. I'm going to stay on y'all about getting that shit out there, dude. So you need to put it together, get it out there at least on like a SoundCloud thing or a band.
Yeah, and I need a vocalist, so hit me up.
Right? Fucking amazing shit.
Yeah, I'll definitely. Lucas and I need to make contact after this for sure.
Iron Realm gets 10% now. Y'all know that since we got y'all to get now.
5.
Oh, we're bargaining now.
It is.
Bargaining.
Well, we'll help you get it.
Kevlar says 7.77. So
absolutely, and thank you, Kevlar.
Yes, thank you,
What's
Kevlar.
up?
Shout out to you for the super chat.
That's my 3 favorite numbers.
I'd be happy to, if I ever made any money, I'd be happy to support the show. But I wouldn't go holding my breath.
Dude, y'all jam. Shh, I don't want to hear it no more.
Well, Kevlar made a point. He says support what you love and it might go away. And that is something I try to do too. I do try to support the guests that we have on and support the family when and where I can. I'm not any sort of flat earth millionaire or anything, but what little bit of change I can scrounge up, I do try to make it hail, baby.
Yeah, I know there's a lot of people trying to get over to Rockfin. If you can, you have somebody that you love that's already there. And the cool thing about Rockfin, you don't have to actually get a membership subscription to actually go and sign up and, start where you can go and chat and whatnot.
Chat, watch videos. Not everything
there's all
is
kinds
paid.
of videos.
Yeah.
I know Glowbusters, Bob has been loading up old Glowbusters, all the ones that they had to take down because they were getting copyright struck for everything. So all those old ones that you can't tell people, oh, you need to go see this one. Well, they're on Rockfin now, and they're free. So you don't have to sign up, but, like they were saying, support what you love, or it goes away. And there's all kinds of people over there now to choose from,
There's people out there like TJ. TJ just kind of said, you know what? I'm done with this bullshit. I'm done. I'm not going to do it anymore. This has gotten ridiculous, and I can't in good conscience continue one more second. Thank you very much. Have a nice rest of your day, and turn around and take this job and shove it and quit. Just I'll find my own way. Thank you very much. And that's what he's doing. And my hat's off to anybody that's brave enough to do that and talented enough to make it work. I would be a lot skinnier if I tried something like that. So I do try to spread the love, the little bit of agape that comes to me. I try to shoot it out back to wherever I can. So yeah, you really should think about getting a little tip jar somewhere where somebody might be able to drop you a $5 and just say, thanks for what you do. Keep doing it. We love what you're doing. Just a thought.
Yeah, I've always been a starving musician, so I've just learned to write to help my soul, I guess you can say. You just do it because it has to come out, and I've just tried to just learn to just, appreciate the art for just the art.
Well, yeah, that's the real art. I mean, the music industry, a lot of even the biggest, most famous bands, the songs that they write don't get on the radio. A lot of those songs are bought. They were written by somebody else. The music was, they're playing it, yeah, but they didn't create that. That wasn't part of or it was somebody's song from 30 years ago that they're redoing. But that person probably didn't even write.
Yep. Bought a beat. So, I sampled somebody else's track, paid for somebody to come in and write some lyrics for me so I can stand up on stage and lip sync to people for $75 a ticket.
Yeah.
And $85 a t-shirt. Thank you very much.
I went on tour with Alien Ant Farm. That was one of the last tours I went on. Yeah. And the dumbest thing is that they are incredible musicians. They seriously are. They can play, they can write. And the only song that they didn't write that they just covered is the one that keeps playing over and over again. But the actual stuff that they wrote that's legit musicianship quality is all there. That's not even there. It's
anytime something catches me, I'll go dig a little bit to find out, is there more than just what I'm hearing on the radio? And I did dig into their catalog when it came out. I did dig it back then. I haven't listened in years, literally.
Yeah, it took me till I was like 17, 18 years old to realize that the best songs are not the ones you hear on the radio.
Dude, rarely.
The ones with the most meaning and the most you can just hear it coming out of the vocals and the everything.
Yeah.
Those were the ones that were written by those guys.
It was the Elton John and the Queen albums where everybody else was We Will Rockin' You, and I was like Spread Your Wings and Get Down, Make Love, and all the deep cut tracks that are so awesome, and everybody else is like, we are the champions. Like, okay, y'all listen to that. I'm going to listen to the good jam on here. Or like the Elton John stuff where it's like everybody was knowing the big hits, but go deep and let's go talk about the Fox album. What? Anyway, yeah, I love stuff that's real music that most of the time the radio misses. Completely. Well, truly, Josh said it. I'll say it again. If you don't get a Patreon together, get somewhere that they can go, like, pay $1 a pop, man. It doesn't have to be $50 for a fucking, like, special limited album with, like, your face on it that you can see through with the globe crossed over, you know.
Can I tell you, here's how you do it. You put an MP3 version for free, and you put a .wav file out there for $1.
The good version, right? The real shit. Because anybody can rip it off YouTube and it sounds meh. But if you want to hear the real, like, popping one, let's talk a little $1. Come on, a little $1 for the jar. Absolutely, friend. And I mean, you know, every little bit helps. Again, thank you for the 777, friend, there in chat.
So another interesting thing, I have all these like weird conspiracy things that like happened in my life or whatever. But so I started to wake up. I don't even know, like I wasn't searching for anything, dude. I was just living my life and doing whatever I wanted to do or whatever. And I don't know what sparked it the first. I think probably 9/11 was a little bit, I was like a senior in high school when that happened. And then I didn't question anything until like, I don't know, like 8 years, 9 years, 10 years later, you know, after the fact. But so when people ask me like, what woke you up? What started you like questioning everything? I say 9/11 and Sandy Hook. And Sandy Hook was the one that struck me super weird because of the church that I was going to like a couple years ago. And when this all was like going down, I was doing like crazy research into Sandy Hook and like finding out all these anomalies that were happening and things that just nothing was adding up, right? Just so randomly. And at the time I was like Facebook friends with the preacher at the congregation I was going to. Just pure randomness. His grandson went to that school. Like, so I'm on here, like on Facebook, like, like this doesn't make any sense. And this isn't adding up. And look at this and blah, 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 and this isn't making sense. I'm not saying any names and I didn't even say what church I was going to, so I can kind of say whatever I want. But
nice.
I was just like, I had this long email like sent to me from him about like how not only inconsiderate, but just how maddening my whole stance was, because his grandson went to that school and his grandson experienced that madness and he knows that it happened and he knows that it was really there. And I was trying to explain to him, like, even if these kids were like put through some sort of act or something like that, the kids that were there, and I didn't go too far into it, you know, it's hard to have a conversation like at all, like with it. But I was like, you know, I just wanted, the one thing I could get through his head is, even if these kids like experience some sort of simulation or something, they might actually think it actually like was happening and it was like real. Like you take a kid at Disneyland or whatever like that, and they think that the character's actually real. They think it's really Mickey Mouse. Like it's super.
Yeah, if they didn't tell the child it was a drill, the child wouldn't know. They'd have no clue. They could be like, hey, we're going to go walk through this old school that's been shut down for 2 years, and we'll show you how quickly a building deteriorates. Or tell them some stupid, you know, thing like, this is your field trip. And then the children believe it. To them,
They
it
did
happened.
one of those little simulations in the parking lot up here for the high school kids, not middle school, not small kids, freaking high school kids, where they took a wrecked car, a real wrecked car from a real crash, brought another one, set it up like a crash, had people set them up with like really well done makeup, and like it was traumatic. Like people were upset, crying, upset about this simulation they did in the parking lot of a wreck for this whatever it was, Matt or whoever set it up.
Oh, that's trippy to do that to
Dude,
kids.
it's like, who would do that to children at that age, let alone any of the younger ones where they do all these, like you say, the simulations, and y'all go down in the hall and put your head down. There's a guy with a fake gun going to come through in a little while, or whatever the fuck they tell them, you know? Like, what kind of insanity?
For us, it was before prom. You know, freshman, whatever it was for freshmen, or the first time you can go to prom. I think it was a history teacher would show you the "Don't Drink and Drive" from like the 1950s,
the old
and
school
shit.
horror
like
films
40
from
years
real wrecks
old.
and shit, right? Yeah,
Like, good
the
Lord,
real
really?
wrecks. Yeah,
come on, people.
I'm so
Reefer
old. I can
Madness
remember
shit.
when they had a tent showing those movies at the fair every year, like showing the wreck movies or the like horror stuff. It was the freak tent. It was, I'm old. God, I'm old. They would show those movies. They would have like the whatever kind of, you know, 6-legged calf or whatever crazy shit they would have.
Well, I saw there in chat that someone was wanting to maybe share a song that had some vocals to it that we
That's
haven't
what's
heard
up.
sing yet tonight.
Oh, yeah.
That's what's
I'll
up.
give you a quick rundown. This one's called The Globe is Dead, so I'll set it up.
While he's setting that up, shout out to the bald and pantless one there in chat for the super chat. Thank you, Baldini.
Hey,
Saying the
Baldini,
best
much
kept
love,
secret
brother.
in Flat Earth, IRL. Thank you, sir.
Yeah, we try to stay under the radar.
Hashtag.
About as hard as we do for our setting up the show, you know. I don't know. We're just lucky that way, I guess. We really are. It's because we put it out there, you know. You put it out in the ether like that. You build the world around you with your thoughts.
It's like when I'm driving and I have that anti-cop dome around me. Same idea. It always works.
Yeah.
Anti-cop dome. Need that. Not just in the car. You need that everywhere.
You don't put that. Well, I put it on everywhere, but I'm saying especially when I drive. I need it most then. I tend to like to get places quickly.
All right, so this is a bit of a stoner rock song. Just a bit of fun.
Nice.
Very cool, man. Is that you singing?
Yeah, that's me singing.
No,
Yeah,
don't he
awesome,
suck?
dude.
Don't he suck? Dude, I keep telling him he fucking rocks and he won't listen.
Yeah, you got a good voice, man.
Got a great voice.
Oh, thanks.
Makes me want to mosh.
Right?
Stage dive and then mosh.
Yeah, I can't help but have my head just bobbing every time I hear that song. I just catch myself, jamming.
Do it like a monster.
Yeah, I wanted to sound like, just a pub band cranking away some random pub.
Hey, dude.
Bit of Fu Manchu influence there, yeah.
I've lost my damn. There it
Well, I'd say we got down to about last 15 minutes. I would say we'll round us out to about 3 hours, something like that.
No, it is not that late already. Holy crap.
No, time flies, man.
Dude, I am astounded.
Maybe a little more, but
it feels
yeah,
like it's about 6:30 at the latest, and it's almost 8 o'clock. So yeah, that's what happens when we start talking about good stuff and listen to amazing tunes, for sure. And dude,
do you
Vince,
have any? What's the next thing you're thinking about writing?
Ooh, good question.
Do you have any ideas? Anything in the works right now, Chris?
Great question.
Me?
Yeah, Chris, sorry, I distracted everybody doing the shout out.
Nobody really cares about Lucas's next project.
I hear about Lucas's
No, don't worry about it. Yeah, I want to see that.
I don't know. It's like musician. Like when I'm writing, I don't like go into it and say I'm going to write a song.
Time
about
to write a song,
Chemtrails
right?
Yeah, you're just moved.
So you're an organic dude. I like to hear that too. That it's more of the flow. The flow. We talk about that a lot here. That creative thing.
Yeah.
I think that's why it's hard for me to do that way Lucas does it, where it's like he's creating it, the tracks and stuff like that. To me, I can't get that to feel organic yet. I struggle with that with video editing too. It doesn't feel like an organic process. It's so stop and start and look, think, is that right? Go back and da 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 da. And I already do that so much with music and riffs I write, art when I'm painting or whatever. I always, details.
I hate video editing.
It's that flow, that natural. Let me get into that state where, like, when me and the guys I was talking about used to get together and jam, especially Trippy McGee, who played drums, and his brother. Shout out to G Love. I know he ain't ever listening hardly anymore, but dude, we would be playing just like, okay, start a bass line, and like he would start the beat, and I would find my place, and we'd riff on that for a little while, and and it's not like just the flow, and you get together and suddenly you're making changes that blow fish off the stage, and it's like we're not writing it, it's just flow, and we're all in the right place, the right energy, and it happens. That's organic. That's natural for me. I can't make it be forced and sit down and this is today, I'm going to make this work, this track's going to build, and it don't work for me like it does for Lucas. As you hear, it works so fucking good for Lucas. That's a good palette for him. It's just not a good palette for me yet. I'm going to get there.
I just try and listen for the beat. That's all I do. If it's got a good groove, if it's got a good beat, it's got a...
Every song I've written in my head first before I ever put it on paper. Shit. The one song that the only one I ever play for anybody, I've never written down. I just sang the first verse, the first line, then the second line, then I sang them again and again, and then I added a third. And I just sat there. I did it at work one day. Just stacking buckets, bored as shit. 8 hours of stacking buckets as they came off a line. It gets real boring when you get good at it. So you got time to think. Yeah, and that's how I did it. And I've never written the thing down. No, I don't think I've ever written it down. I've written down some songs, but never that one. Yeah, it's crazy. That's how I do it.
Yeah, I'll write it down definitely, and I'll change lyrics around here and there.
You find the melody first when you like going with the tunes, and then
then try
and fit the lyrics to the melody. That's how I do it.
Yeah, I've tried to do it the other way. Like I've written poems and stuff and then try to like write music to it. It's so much more difficult for my brain.
That don't work.
It's easier trying to find the word that fits that sort of sound that you're looking for. Yeah. Sometimes I'll have the song and then you basically sing mumbo jumbo into the microphone until you get you can record them and then sort of place the lyrics that way.
Right, dude, that is such a key to the lot. Like having YouTube out there, you can go hear some nuts stuff from like demos a band would have done before a song came out, or even like I'm trying to think, what was that one that just broke my brain? Oh, again, I grew up in the 70s. Kiss was a big thing for me. There's a thing where it's like almost 2 hours of them literally just in the studio for the Dynasty album. And there's a song they did on that album called Sure Know Something. It's kind of poppy and real wimpy, and it's not really a rocket song. It's more of a love ballad thing. Hey again. But anyway, they sit there and literally write it in the studio. You can hear them doing it with like scat lyrics, and they're not real. Welcome back, lady.
No, she was just yelling.
Oh, she did yell.
I think she was in the background.
Oh,
just a passerby. Who is that?
Tell her hi again and tell her thanks to Vince. Tell Vince, please come hang with us again. Don't make it a freaking rare thing, dude, because that interview was awesome. It was great. What did I do with the damn link I have?
No, it's definitely awesome chilling with you guys and being able to have this conversation. Like these conversations are rare in life. So if we have to do it digitally because no one's around in my area, then freaking guess we got to do it digitally.
So shall it be.
Yeah, that's the same with me. I'm the outer ring man, you know, it's it's not too many people out here either. So
No, I think we all struggle with that even now, even these days when I do know more people in my real life who I can talk to some of these things about. It's still a rare thing, and especially early on. That's why we did our realm. I mean, that's what Josh and Rob and Adam and all the early days. I don't want to start listing names. That's what this was us going, okay, what the fuck? I've got to talk to somebody about this because I don't want to get put in an asylum here at home. So let me talk to some people on there and they can have a clue. And then suddenly it was like meeting friends and brothers and family and shit. Bob and them can do it. We can do it. Let's go.
Holy cow.
Hey, Bobo.
I'm not alone.
What have you got, Zach?
Check this out. Do you know what this is, Tammy?
No, I haven't tested it yet. It just got my attention though. I just
was
put the
outside
batteries in. No, this was up
playing with the light. Well, this was up in the office.
This was on one of the ledges.
We found this out in the yard, and
You should
it's
see
fluorescing
that.
like pink. Now,
I
check
see
this
that.
out when I put it. This is what color it really is.
What the hell?
Wow.
That's nuts. I think I've got some of that floating around here from
It
Oregon.
almost looks like mica, doesn't it?
Mm-hmm.
Cam?
I hadn't even looked at it straight this
Yeah,
way. It caught
it
my
looks like
eye because
mica.
it was fluorescing red. I'm gonna have to
That's
look at
wild.
this
Yeah, we're definitely gonna have to play with that.
Anyway, I wanted to tell you I got a 254 nanometer black light. And it-
254 nanometer blacklight.
which you don't want to look at with your eyes. Bob was like, no, it's like, no, don't look at it. It does have a protective lens here that will pull off when doing photography and getting better. But don't look
Nice.
at it.
Okay, so we got some more dangerous toys to play with. Implements of destruction.
So you're like,
So is that the special kind of light that gemologists have or something, Cammy, that frequency of, or is she gone again? She's gone. Tell her, come on in.
Hold on.
It's going to, yes, it is what gemologists use. It's not near as fancy. The one I'm used to is a much stronger, sturdier, and a light box that had like a pair of glasses. But the ones I was looking at were over $1,000 for the light boxes. So this is what I could get from China, and I'm going to have to rig it, pull off the filter, and do a few things to augment it. It's a cheap rendition of what I use in gemology. It's a rig thing, but like the other things that I've rigged, it gets the job done. You just have to hold it a lot closer. And
shout out to Bob.
Again, if this was a stronger light, this thing would be nuclear glowing red. This is just a little, I mean, it's literally a $45 edition of something that usually starts at over, $1,000 for a good setup.
There you go.
But I did get a good deal
festival?
on it, a real good deal for the little setup.
Yeah, we were at a festival about,
And it just got
2
here,
or 3
so
years ago.
I got distracted.
Tell her to get on the show, man. I want to tell her about some awesome stuff, and I love jams. But I'm just kidding. We're about to get out of here. What, 10 minutes? Oh, no, it's over. All right, goodbye. No, I'm kidding. It is 8 o'clock, and we have been at it for 3 hours, believe it or not.
2:45.
Yep.
We were a bit of a late start,
right.
but yeah.
In our mind, it's
ish.
3 hours because we were out here at 5. Just takes a minute to get this thing up and running off the air, when you use a prop instead of jet engines.
That's right.
Those forward-sitting jet engines, I don't like those, so we're a prop thing.
Like a bumblebee.
Anyway.
We probably shouldn't be flying, but damn it, we're here anyway.
We all start humming and we're off.
Oh, shit.
Alrighty. Again, Cammy, tell Vince thanks. And seriously, he can come hang out anytime.
Any brother of yours is
There's a
well,
brother.
no, that's not how that works.
All right, Chris, your channel is in the description already. I saw it there. Josh is on top of it. Thank you, Josh.
Broken watch, baby.
Get that Patreon on, dude, or at least something. $1 here. Yes, give me $1. Listen to this song. It's amazing stuff.
I got kids to feed, right?
That's
it,
right.
Dude. Truly.
That's right. You got kids.
Lots of love, lots of hugs going to you in that family situation. It does suck, dude. Trust me. We all have some form of that happening around us or with us, and sending that love out, Reperception. Anybody else there? You can reach out to us. Truly, it is family here and family. So, you want to go out with one more song before we head out?
Sure.
While you're pulling that up, I'll remind everybody you can hang out with me and Josh and Lucas and Zach and whoever else wants to pop in on a Tuesday morning and on a Friday morning over at TFR Live, Ironworks. We have a blast there. You're certainly welcome if you're an early riser or a late stayer upper.
Yeah, three
like,
little girls. 2
a.m. for you, I think, right? 2 a.m. over there.
I bet you Chris is always up at 2 a.m. with 3 little girls.
So, any 2 a.m. you want to pop on with us, seriously, on that frequency, let us know, friend. We're always there, except for occasionally when Josh oversleeps. Other than that, we're there. No, I'm just fucking with Josh.
All right, let's see if this works.
I was just telling Dixie about anxiety. Sorry.
They say that records, they don't exist. Whoa, now here they are. They say that Nazis, they don't exist. Well, now here they are. They say that lockdowns, they don't exist. Whoa, now here they are. They say that FEMA camps don't exist. Oh, now here they are. Whoa now, whoa now, whoa now, whoa now, here they are. Whoa now, whoa now, whoa now, whoa now, here they are. Here they are longing to trample your rights. Here they are longing to control your life. Crack the whip, heaps of corpses bound in chariots. Don't ever take your eyes off of the prize. Don't you back down, don't give up on the fight. Flashing swords, charging horsemen. This is our time. Whoa now, whoa now, whoa now, here they are. Whoa now, whoa now, whoa now, whoa now, here they are. Whoa now, whoa now, whoa now, whoa now, here they are. Here they are, here they are. Whoa now, here they are, here they are, here they are. Whoa now, here they are. Whoa now, here they are.
Hell yeah.
Dude, that was awesome. Can't believe that's only got 126 views. That's crazy.
And look, shout out to Monarch One Butterfly channel, which I'm linking right now into our chat for showing that to us all there on her channel.
Yeah, amazing.
That was great, dude. Holy shit. You've got a
great vocals, man.
Yep.
Yeah, I was digging that beat.
Not a doubt, man. Chris, dude, please get your shit going with an album. Or,
yeah, I know.
I'm not pulling
a damn record out.
Truly.
I appreciate it. I appreciate you guys having me on too. I had a lot of fun.
Well, now that you're in the door, it never shuts behind you. We tell that to everybody. And when they do come back finally and see it's true, dude, your family now, come back, hang out. And we do a thing on Wednesdays where we do a production meeting. It's just basically the same shit. Us sitting here talking about music, cutting up, and loving each other. And
right. Imagine this, but without going live.
But without us fucking up going live, right? Without that fumble.
More casual.
Only doing even less.
So, please come hang out, man, for sure.
And sometimes the silences are just a fraction longer.
Every chance we get.
Occasionally.
Shout out Savage. But definitely keep that stuff happening. And then if you get a new one happening, and let us know if we're free to share it. We'll definitely put it on our channel as well. Love to put your jam on here.
Yeah. Me too.
Or whenever you get that one from Nathan again, let me know, because I definitely love that.
Oh yeah,
Settle in, fucking hey, dude, I love it.
Yeah, that was good.
Thank you.
Yeah, I guess we can go ahead and wrap that up. Then that's going to be real.
No, I don't want to, because I'm digging the shit out of this.
But I reckon we should.
All right, everybody in chat, thank you for the super chats. Thank you for the love. Thank you for hanging out. If anyone is out there that you know that used to come hang and you're going, where are they at in chat? They probably lost us in that 3-month gap over on our backup channel. So let them know we're back. Come hang out again. We're planning on having lots of these musical shows. We hope there'll be a repeat with Christopher McCracken here. So come hang out again with us. Share, like. You know the drill. Subscribe. Do all that stuff that helps us hang out with you guys more often. And just Tuesdays and Fridays over there at TFR.
That's it.
Lucas, Josh. Where'd Zach go? Zach, wherever you are.
Love y'all.
Oh, there he is.
Thanks,
right,
everyone.
Love you. I didn't see your name up in the top. I don't know. That was weird. Love y'all. Thank y'all.
Always a pleasure. Love you guys. This has been another exciting episode of Have No Sphere right here on the Iron Rail Media YouTube channel. We shall be right back here next Friday with, I don't know. We will figure out something between now and then. Anyway, you guys be good, be well. We love you. We'll see you then.